I can take a break. I can do something else for now. What do? I I unzip your lizard. What do? I see your lizard. Okay, Lacey. Oh, everybody got the sleepies. This is problematic. That being said, I should be able to do something tomorrow. What would I can stay for now? What would you like me to do? I have games. I have I have I can react to things. I could do a demo. I have a demo. I have demo. I have many game. I have like so many game. Too many game. Overwhelming amount of game. But I also have something to do with reactions. Does anybody want to see me do a funny reaction? Because apparently those are the big things that people want to watch anymore, is people reacting to things. There's Gorframe. There's Crownhold, which is a demo. I would do VR chat, maybe, but not now. Because that is incorrect for me. You want to see me react to something? Is that what you want to see? I can do that. I can do that very well. Let me fix the thing. I did not finish the that video series on Voices of the Void. Lore. But I have something for you, chat. Just give me a second. So I actually watched this the other day. I think I can find more information on this particular horror show, but this is something that caught my attention due to the fact that every fandom in the entirety of the internet seems to have had a like-mindedness to this. Like everybody had a similar visceral reaction to this thing that is a new movie that's coming out. I don't believe it has anything bad in it, per se. Actually, well, it doesn't have anything necessarily so bad in it that it wouldn't be able to be on like a video, because if people can stream the entirety of Family Guy skits on, and they can get away with doing Family Guy skits on their videos, then I feel like I could react to this. Let me fix some things here, chat, for you. Save that. Okay, I'm just fixing things. Okay, chat. Okay, hold on. Let me turn off the music. So, this atrocity that I am about to give unto you apparently has the entire internet agreeing that, you know what? That Velma show that came out a couple of years ago, that wasn't so bad. You know, Has Been Hotel. Yeah, no, you know that cartoon wasn't so bad. You know, that show wasn't all that terrible. This has become the consensus due to this movie. And I have watched it. Well, not the movie, I have watched the trailer. And I am in agreement with all these fandoms, the Warhammer fandom, and the Has Been Hotel fandom. Everybody agrees that this particular movie is ass. Is the audio on? Hello? Yes, it is. Ouch. Hold on.
Kiki?
Loud still. Stop. Hold on. Me change volume.
I didn't exactly have girls knocking down my door before you did. You are my everything.
Okay. Stop right there. Let me stop you right there. Immediately. Can you already tell me? Can you already tell me, chat? Does this not look terrible? We are not even 30 seconds into this and I can already tell you that the everything is off. The art style is way off. This is something more akin to Tumblr Bay. This is exactly what this is. And the worst part is that I've seen like 2007 Flash animation look better than this. Like, everybody is a square-headed Cartoon Network reject, to put it the best way. Nothing in this animation looks good. Like, I get you're trying to go for a stylization, but the color palette doesn't work. Everybody's got like these deep blue outlines for their models and everything, from normal black lines to normal outlines, and this just doesn't work when it's this kind of color. Some shows can do that, and I've seen shows do that before, but they have kind of a mix of colorization with their outlines. It's not always blue. When you have this kind of blue outline for literally pretty much everything, except for the characters, which apparently have an even darker blue outline, which doesn't work. It just screams bad. I just don't know. Everything about this, the angles of the faces and everything is just, everybody looks like a fucking fish. And it looks terrible. And we're, like I said, we're only 21 seconds in. Yeah, this looks like a child make it. Let me put you a side by side here. Let me this is this like they're trying to go for that like turn of the 2010s cartoon art style. So like Adventure Time, they're kind of going for like the long limbs, thin long limbs, kind of like basic character look. Let's see if I can find, you know, something along the lines of like this. They're trying to replicate Adventure Time in a way. Like this is you can see it. You can see that's what they're trying to go for here. And it doesn't work because where Adventure Time works. Why doesn't Adventure Time work? Because the characters are far more basic. Look at the characters here. Mouth, eyes, mouth, eyes, mouth, eyes, mouth, eyes, mouth, eyes, trunk, mouth, eyes, nose, mouth, eyes, mouth, eye, eyes, nose. Like this works because you have very, very basic characters with very basic ideas, but also very, very interesting outlines. Like everybody has their own like unique outline and unique style. So if I were to blacken all this, you could still tell who's who from a silhouette. So you would be able to tell Lumpy Space Princess from Bubblegum Princess, Finn from Lemon Grab. You know who you're looking at without having to stress yourself on knowing which character is which. You could be like immediately, oh, easy. That's BMO instantly. Meanwhile, these characters, I can already tell you, for most of the series, most of these characters all look exactly the same. They're these cardboard cutouts. They look like the stuff that you get from the internet just so you can outline it. Yeah, that sort of thing. It's bad. As you can see, part of their problem is they put way too much detail into these characters' faces for one. So everybody looks like an ugly fish. Everybody's got weird ears, which they're space aliens, so I give them the credit of that. But everybody's got like very detailed, big giant eyes. They got eyebrows. They got big nose, lots of lines on their faces. Like it's too much detail, and it works against the characters. Yeah, exactly. They all have interesting silhouettes. Jake's about the only one you wouldn't be able to tell because Jake is literally able to transform himself into pretty much anything. But that's still. So let me continue. No, actually, I don't want to. There we go. Let me continue.
You're dumped.
It's eclectic mash of intergalactic mayhem. Drop dead.
I just thought dating.
Whoever get IndieWire, I don't know who you are, but go away. Nobody cares. You know what? I don't know who you are, and nobody cares.
A space princess would be more fun.
Look at the animation. Like, look at the animation.
A space princess would be more fun.
What amount of frames are there? Is that like 17 or some weird ass number? I can't tell. It's definitely not 30. I can guarantee you it's not 30 frames. I guarantee you it's not 60. It normally, if I remember right, I think it was 26 frames are used in animation as an average. I think it was 27. 26. I think it might have been 26. I'm thinking they're using something along the lines of
I just thought dating a space princess.
some along the lines of like 16, 13, 14 maybe. I made animatics for my favorite ship. That's all I need to know, right?
Would be more fun.
Get it? She's a sad crying lesbian. I forgot who made the joke. There was recently there was a joke about like a movie like a rom-com, and the whole joke was sad crying lesbians. That was the whole joke. That was the title of the movie. And I forgot who made that joke, what show I watched that had that joke, but I remembered it. And it's like, yeah, that's funny because it's a one-off joke. This is not funny. This is annoying when you actually do it for realsy. When you do the joke, when you pull a caricature of it, yeah, the tears flow are weirdly. Chat, you have no idea. You have to hear this bit. You have to hear this bit.
Where am I?
We're the straight, white malians.
You don't want to know what I said when I watched that bit. $2 million. This is an OP. This has to be an OP. Hi, don't do this. Please don't watch it. It's too late, Gladiator. I would love to not watch it, but I've already seen it. And, it's too late. I've seen everything. Operation. You mean like a brain operation, or just, like some kind of like program made by a big business? Incredible. Zero brain cell production. Ow. I had no idea. I didn't want to watch this. Why did you do this to me, MalO? Hey, I had to suffer watching this trailer. Now you get to suffer as well. Ah, yes, something meant to stir the culture war pot. It's kind of like Velma was. It feels like it. It really does. But it's not worth your time. I'll guarantee you that. This will have the worst, most stupid puns, stupid jokes. It's not worth your time. It's not even worth hate watching. Like Velma. Velma wasn't even worth hate watching. That's why Velma died, is because people were telling the truth. Don't watch it. They just want you to hate watch it. Freak tour. It's me.
Oh, come on! Kill the lesbian!
Sarah, you gotta help me.
Kiki! I can't just abandon her.
There was something that was on the screen for a short second, and I am not stopping this video in order to make sure that nobody, especially like Twitch and stuff, sees what was in the background. It was not bad enough that probably wouldn't get me in trouble, but it's bad enough to make me want to not stop on that frame. It's a shitty Tumblrite making a tweet longer, especially trying to be as annoying as possible.
I've got to save Kiki.
A goofy trip of pure enjoyment. Next best picture. Again, who the hell are you?
An intergalactic space quest to save your ex?
Oh, wow.
Oh god, this is pathetic.
If she loves you so much, what is taking her so long?
I have a huge crush on you.
Get up, you little sweaty bitch.
Who are you people? Yeah, drag queen. This comment right here. A colorful and life-affirming crowd pleaser. Go jump into the ocean, please. Thank you. Please and thank you. As soon as I read those words, the life-affirming thing made me just, I screen daily. Look that up. Check if that's a bot. Check if that's some kind of like fake account. I mean, alt accounts to give themselves kudos.
Oh my god. Oh.
There's a few other parts that I really want to talk about later, but I need to talk about this. I need to talk about this. I need to talk about that. We need to talk about this. I don't know if if any of you recognize what this is from. But if you do, you will feel visceral hatred because this series does not deserve to do what it did. If you don't know what this is, let me know. Let me know, Chad. Is there anybody here who is confused about this particular scene? Because I'll explain it to you.
Oh my god. Oh.
Ugh. I don't know what's going on there. I really don't want to know. I'm not going to lie. It looks like a gimp suit. Okay, so this is from a famous scene. This is a very famous scene from one of the most acclaimed movies ever produced. One of the most beautiful and disturbing movies ever produced. Have you ever heard of Akira? So a lot of animations, a lot of animations have done and will do and tend to do is they like to reference this movie, Akira. And in particular, this scene right here, when the main character, I forget what his name is, ends up sliding on his motorcycle. And I've seen this scene done quite often in many different movies, different films, different productions, cartoons, young and old have done the Akira slide. But most of them, and you'll come to find out, most of them who do this bit are doing it on a fucking motorcycle or something of similar make. Batman, fucking Star Wars, Lego, Pokemon, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this House of Dennis or whatever this was, another 80s cartoon, this live action show. This was Dennis Down the Street or whatever, another cartoon that I haven't watched and I just know that it's on Cartoon Network. But all these guys, all they're doing, as you can see, hold on, I'm gonna try to find the actual bit here, the Akira slide. I'm trying to find it as a GIF, so that way you guys can actually see it in full animation. I don't want the whole movie because then it's just gonna be a problem. But it's all it's giving me is the movie. I hate Google. Here we go. No, I'm not gonna digress. I'm not gonna digress. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna get on Google's like search engine bullshit because if I do, I'll be here for the next 30 years. But God, do I hate it. I mean, this is 16 seconds long. It should be okay. No. We're not doing the full thing. We are just doing the bit. That's all I want is the bit. Here it is. There you go. That's it. There it is. There's the animation for you, chat. That's the animation. Sure, this looks terrible, but during that time period, I mean, like, it looks terrible because it's a crappy video, but back then in 1988, this scene in particular, people loved this scene for good reason because the animation is so slick, the particle effects are so slick. This was a masterpiece of its time, both for its animation and for its story. It is basically top tier. That's why so many shows will reference that scene in particular. Before it even became a meme, people were referencing it. I mean, before even the internet. I mean, look at Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Pokemon. All these cartoons of old were referencing it before the internet really took off because people loved it. Like, Akira's influence is still felt today, in this day in the animation industry. It was all hand-drawn. Yeah, hand-drawn shit is mind-boggling how much time and love and effort went into a movie like Akira. I've never seen the movie myself. I have seen bits and bobs of it. I need to sit down and watch it. And I've seen like them talk about the movie before. I've seen people talk about it, the people who made it, and it is mind-boggling seeing humans put so much time and effort into each frame, into the paintings, the backdrops. Like the paintings and backdrops, people dedicated weeks of their time just to like one scene's backdrop like this. Like, it's insane. And I fucking love it. And then here comes this animation made by some Tumblr dumbass who has no idea what they're referencing. They just made the funny haha slide animation because they thought that would be funny. It put a reference to another series into their movie. You don't get to do this. You don't get this. You don't. You don't get any credit points for this. You can get minus 50 DKP. I never watched it, and I thank God I didn't watch it before I was too young, because if I had watched it when I was too young, I probably would have been scarred for life. I only saw it through recently. Prior, I just had been sort of drip-fed bits and pieces. I need to sit down and watch it. You know, I would love to watch this on the Discord with you guys. Not this, but Akira. I would love that. That in particular just drove me insane when I found out about that. And then there's, I believe this is supposed to be a reference to Ziggy Stardust, I think. I'm not sure. I don't know. She kind of looks like it.
We gotta be confident. We gotta be but not too confident. We gotta be beautiful.
Not too beautiful.
But not too beautiful.
Not too beautiful.
You gotta have nice shoes. You gotta everything you do. I gotta do backwards in flat shoes.
Is that supposed to be a joke? Chat, explain to me that joke. Please explain to me how that is supposed to be funny. Okay, that was the whole thing, but you know, I need to like, there's some stuff in the background. Okay, first off, I want you to really take a look at this. When you start looking at this, you start realizing that these were made to look like actual awards. None of these are awards. One is an award. Everything else is a runner-up, basically, a runner-up sort of thing. Sit Guess Official Selection 2025. Official selection. What does that even mean? that is just basically saying, ah, yes, this was something we put in our repertoire to show, I believe. Yeah, it all looks, doesn't it look AI generated? I don't think it is AI generated. I don't think any of this is, which is the funniest part. Red Mail 75 International Film Festival Berlin Panorama. What does that mean? You were in a international film festival in Berlin. Good fucking for you. Good for you. You did it. You were in a competition. Oh, gold fucking star. Official selection of the Annecy 2025 competition. Again, no awards. You were just a part of the competition. Another official selection of Frameline 49, San Francisco International LGBTQ plus Film Festival. And let me ask you a quick question. How many films are going to be in an international film festival for the LGBTQ that's being held in San Francisco? How many do you think? Probably not many. Especially, you weren't even weren't awarded nothing. You were just in it. It's a participation trophy. Oh my God. And then you go over here and you see the winner of the GIO Audience Award for Best Australian Feature, not even awarded by the judges, awarded by the audience in Sydney Film Festival. And let me tell you, did you recognize the accents that everybody had? They were all Australian. So this is an Australian-made movie. So obviously, they're going to win something over there. They probably have nothing better. Now remember, this is the land of the Karens. As much as I want to say America is the land of the Karens, Australia's got it worse. Remember, most of the shit that seems to fly that gets starts becoming a problem seems to come from the Karens that are in Australia. Who here remembers the whole problem with the PayPal and the Visa issues of when you couldn't buy pornography and video game pornography games on Steam and itch.io last year? You want to know who started it? It was a bunch of dumbass Karens who lived in Australia. And it's not the first time that Karens in Australia caused problems. So for them to give them the award, for the audience award to go to them in Australia, doesn't tell you much other than the audience dumber than rocks. Yeah, they almost killed the livelihood of so many people. Karens don't deserve to have a voice. You don't. I don't mean to be political, but if you're a Karen, you don't deserve to have a voice. If you are so privileged that you've never had to face adversity in this world, you don't get to have a voice. Stick to your suburban mom gossip, because the people who have had to face adversity don't need your nonsense. Go away. Go away. But I just wanted to point that bit out because there's a lot going on here that it goes by so fast. I just also wanted to point out the butch lesbian in this movie also doesn't shave her legs. Oh, yeah, I'm showing the magic of the lesbian space princess. City just said, "You're an asshole for showing them." Yeah, that's right. I have felt pure pain. Therefore, I must show my chat my pain. I am pain from Naruto. You will all know my pain. Oh yeah, you ought to see the comments. Oh no, wait. You gotta see some of the comments. Bro, we don't need this to come to the UK. This shit is so ass. I'm saying this as a lesbian. This is so bad. My friend turned from lesbian to straight. You took off the gold that is Captain Underpants for this. Forget the Coco 2 haircut situation. This shit needs to be burned at the stake. Bring back Willow. I'm trans and this is shit. And then when you translate this, it's somebody going, yeah, sick times, bro. Sick times in a very sarcastic manner. So you're not the only one, Lovelace. God, I was looking at this on my phone while walking home. Now I'm on my computer and looking at this at high res. It looks so much worse. I told you. Acting. I had to point out I really had to point out the, like, oh yeah, stereotype butch lesbian has hairy legs. Bravo. Great standards of jokes here.
I just thought dating a
Okay, so
space princess would be more fun.
selling point is that the main character cries constantly. Isn't that funny? Isn't it funny? Oh, straight white male mammalians. And here's another thing, chat. Whole like, yes, she leaves her girlfriend and then immediately goes in a lesbian orgy with pink fuzzy handcuffs. Yay! It's like it's 2003 again with our humor. Yippee! Yay! Oh, I'm not showing you directly. I'm just pointing out some of the things that I've noticed. Yay! And then they get kidnapped. Also, notice that they're all probably naked because of the way they're shaped. Blah, 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 blah. Don't care. We don't care. White mammalian. Funny. White straight mammalians. Also, it looks like there's fucking Mountain Dew up there. And I think maybe like insane clown policy. I don't know. Some like anime girl up there too. Oh yeah, this isn't worth anybody's time. This ain't worth nobody's time. This ain't worth even hating. This is worth just skipping for the rest of your life. Never watch this. We're gonna make fun of this right now, and then never talk about it again. Also, don't mind that I had to skip that part. I held on to it for too long. I thought it was a little bit further, but also look at the way that look at the lettering on the shirt. It looks like it was photoshopped after the fact. It doesn't even look like it's on the shirt. God, live, love, laugh, lesbian, strong women. It's a joke to be a joke to joke.
Just abandon her.
Gotta, straight white men with their anime girls, right? Am I right? Nothing. I don't think there's anything here. There's something going on that poster that I never really noticed before. Pure entertainment. I'd rather have my tits squeezed into a vice grip than watch this movie. Pilot Wall of Fame. Doesn't matter. What is this joke? Also, cocaine, sniffing cocaine. Look, it's a drug it's a drug area, chat. Look, it's a bong. Haha, isn't that funny? It's a bong spaceship. Ha 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 ha.
Galactic Space Quest is
Okay, crystal goop. You like slimes, right, chat? Don't you like slimes?
Oh god, this is pathetic.
Also, the secondary love interest, of course, because she just got dumped. This whole story is about the space princess moving on and learning to love somebody else. Ha ha, funny. Oh no, definitely not. This was not written by lesbians, guaranteed. This is somebody trying to make woke material without understanding anything and just trying to be edgy. No fat chick.
taking her so long?
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, brother. She's like, this animation shouldn't have taken at all that long. I mean, look how easy it is to draw. Did we really need all this like bathroom writing in the middle of the car? Like, was that a thing that was needed? Is that really like, this is a car? This is supposed to be a spaceship / car. How many people are you letting into your car to just write on permanent marker on your wall of your car? Like, don't make any damn sense. And then there's this scene where we have a literal like drag queen telling her, "Oh, just get up, stupid bitch." And then she cartwheels away, da 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 da, and cartwheels away, da da da. Just everything about this looks absolutely terrible. Also, alien dead. Alien explode. Get it? She's ace. Not really. Mind you, also take a look on the what's holding up the fan chat. Yeah, this is assassination of the character, the LGBTQ. I mean, there's tasteful ways of, making fun of the LGBTQ, and then there's whatever the hell this is. Do not air this in theaters. Do not go to it in theaters. It is not worth your time. Burn it. Burn it all, because all it is trying to make you angry. Yeah, don't even give him the dignity. Yeah, the best part of doing that is letting something like that die. I know I shouldn't have like even showed it and just let it die, but I had to share it with you guys and tell you, just don't watch it. When it does come out, don't watch it. It is just trying to get you to hate watch it. It's trying to get your money through hate watching. Do not do it. Just avoid it. Avoid it like the plague. Do unto this movie that what they done to Velma. Velma, for the first season, Velma got a bunch of hate watch. Then I think season 2 came out and it bombed so hard that they just canceled the show outright because it deserved it. Everybody forgot about it by season 2. Yeah, sharing it was almost too much publicity. It really was. But now you know. Now you know not to watch it. That's okay. Your ad revenue and information is enough for them. We need a palate cleanser. Would you all... No, I don't want to show you that. No. God, that is not good. That's the equivalent of sharing, force feeding you raw fish with the scales and bones still attached, and then putting a pile of poopy in front of you. No. I'll show this video instead. And then I'll show you the horrors that I have found. Oh, hold on. Wrong button. Audio. Turn on the audio.
I already know today it's gonna be fucking chaotic. So you're totally a T-Rex like me, aren't you?
Just a little bit of a faster one, that's all.
Wait a minute, you got 3 fingers.
It's that genetic trait where you grow an extra finger or toe.
You're
She sounds so velvety. I like that. I like her voice.
probably a prime Tyrannosaurus, right?
I'm getting there, but it's a pleasure to meet you.
God damn. Why is the damn dinosaur so sensual?
My name is Naoma.
My name is, if you were to look at me for the first time,
My name is Oh, hi. Pleasure to meet you.
what would you paint me as?
What about Roberto?
Roberto.
Roberto.
I don't know if it has a nice ring to it though.
Another name that comes to mind is Edwin.
Roberto it is.
All right, Roberto.
Edwin.
Our dino.
Hear me out, chat. Hold on, hear me out. I mean, what was it? Whoa, what was it called? Thanks, Google. Harkness test. Yes, that's right. Right. Yes, chat. Let us review the Harkness test. Let us review. If you have not seen the Harkness test, here you go. So you want to fuck a fictional creature. Give it the Harkness test first. Does it have human intelligence or greater? Can it talk or otherwise communicate with language? Is it sexually mature for its species? If the answer to all 3 is yes, then you can fuck it. It's a non-human creature with sapience, and all you need to have is consensual sex with. If it's answered no to 1 or more, watch out, that's bestiality or possibly pedophilia. Don't fuck it. Body language is a dangerous road. As always, err on the side of caution. Only rely on body language if both parties have attempted communication through different means and failed due to language barriers and other special situations. Are you an adult? Do you want to fuck? Are you an adult? Certainly. Do you want to fuck? Of course. Very familiar with the Harkness test. For those of you who did not know, now you know. Now you know of the Harkness test. Hey, if she has a beautiful voice, and if the dinosaur is that cute, listen.
Everyone's usually the good guys or the bad guys.
I am a skull dog. I have almost no barriers except for like grotesqueness
Around these parts.
Typically, everyone's pretty friendly, but you do have the odd one out that'll try to give you a little bit of a nibble.
Which type of dinos are they?
Other T-Rexes, actually. Yeah, we have a bit of a cannibal problem.
Thanks, Naoma.
You're welcome. Be a good boy and survive.
Mega, hear me out. That face. If I had facial structure, I'd be making the same face. I'm not gonna lie. How to put this? I'm gonna get on the floor and do the dinosaur.
All you need is a little lubrication.
Moth. Okay, so hold up. Now that we've had that, now that we've had,
Let's rap, kids.
everybody's gonna get on the floor. Hey, let's all do the dinosaur. Nothing's gonna get too bore. I'm not feeling very bore because I'm doing the dinosaur. Okay, Lovelace. Before you go, would you entertain me and see a game with me?
Remember it?
Would you care to see a game before you go? So, remember how I said I didn't really have a great palate cleanser? Welcome to Agefield High, Rock the School. This game has been adamantly said to not have been made with AI. However, I don't know if that's a good thing. Getting it down raw like a dinosaur, and I just want more.
Remember a time when boys became men?
You're the only guy the girls are talking about.
Cool kids ruled the halls. And hot
Jeffrey Dahmer ass face over here. Oh God! Look at that expression. Holy shit! Oh, he don't look real. Jorts. He just doesn't look real. Look at, oh, he looks so soulless. This kid's, I think, supposed to be in high school, right? So he's probably like 16, 15, 16. He looks like he's 48. Look at him. He looks like he's seen a goddamn war and survived. Ugh, so bad.
and hot teachers were the only reason to show up to school.
Bro, the audio, you couldn't even mix your audio right. You couldn't have the announcer wait for, like, you couldn't have the teacher wait for like 2.5 seconds for the announcer to finish. Yeah, this game is supposed to be based on in high school back in 2022, not 22, 2002, 2002.
Only reason to show up to
We
school.
don't need any more naughty boys around
Look
here.
look at the look at the animation. Look at her face. Oh my God, why is she staring at the ceiling? Look at her. She's just we don't need naughty boys in here. We don't need naughty boys.
Need any more naughty boys around here.
Also, glad that you hired all your voice actors off of Fiverr, by the way.
Well, in the town of Agefield, 3 dudes were about to graduate and make their mark.
So can anybody here tell that this was supposed to be basically a spiritual successor to Bully? The classic hit up from Rockstar, but fails so unbelievably terribly that I just want to dropkick something. It really does look like one of the bad games from the early 2010s, but this came out like very recently, like a week ago. Their most controversial game, yet one of their most cult classics. Hoy the hoy. Asset flipper. Yes, that's the first thing I felt when I saw this. What game developed this? Okay, who developed this again? I know these devs. I know these devs, and I remember they made something atrocious. What did you make? What have you made? This is made by Refugium Games, who also made the Grey Hill Incident, which I remember that game. If you don't remember the Grey Hill Incident, came out a couple of years ago. Terrible, awful alien game. Like, atrociously bad. Came out in 2023. Like, bleh, bad. Like, when they didn't know how to perfectly animate yet. Yeah.
Because legend. You gotta prove yourself.
This animation! You got the face!
Yourself. With a little dare.
Oh my god. Oh, god. Bro. Look at him. Fucking goddamn. He looks like a reject Willy Wonka. A horrible, like, mutated version of a clone of Willy Wonka. Yeah, Bolivian ass fucking face. Stop right there, criminal scum. Nobody breaks the law on my watch. Look at the fucking shirt. It's supposed to be a Nirvana shirt. Yeah. Lizards. Chat, I wish I had a lizard button right now. Lizard. Lizard. Grinch ass face. He does have a Grinch face. He has the Jim Carrey Grinch face.
With a little dare.
Also, none of the words match the lip syncing whatsoever.
Inspired by the raunchy teen comedies of a bygone era.
Just like in the movies. You sneak in, wait until she starts showering.
Yeah, I totally love girls.
Oh my god.
And skate.
Field High comes
I love
soaked in a
skating.
punk soundtrack.
Yeah.
With a colorful early.
Yeah. The music, man. Yeah. School is lame.
2000s aesthetic. Live once again through awkward times.
You don't know him like I know him.
Embarrassing attempts.
Do you really know yourself, though? You're less than 18. Also, God, wait a minute. That's supposed to be Green Day, right? He's supposed to be referencing Green Day because of the red tie and the black shirt and pants, right? Oh my God. Chat. Look at that again. Hold on. You look at that again. You have to see that again. Look at this ass version of Guitar Hero. Look at it. Watch it. Look how slow it is. This is disgusting. This is disgusting. Buddy. Wait, Too Many Cooks? Isn't that the guy that did the whole Too Many Cooks in the kitchen for the Adult Swim? The whole like too many cooks. Yeah. I'm a puke. Yeah, Adult Swim. Yeah, I remember that.
Hey.
Dance again. I know that's another reference. That's not Blink 182. I can't remember what that is. A little dark.
Hey. And things that teenagers experienced way too early.
No one gets pregnant on my watch.
Shut up.
Perverted teachers around campus.
We know exactly what you're doing.
Fight dickhead jocks in the quirky small town.
Dragante, the brick. We just hit him in the brick, and the brick just went flying like it was. I lost internet for a hot second. The game was so bad. The game was so bad. I lost internet for about 3 microseconds. Fuck off. I did not lose Twitch. Twitch, you need to like chill out. Like whenever internet crashes, Twitch is like, yeah, the stream ended. The stream ended. Everybody come back, go away. The stream has ended. Because it always pops up the like ending screen even though I immediately pop back in after like 2 seconds. Like, oh, I'm back, chat. Here I am. And then Twitch is like, no, you're gone. You're dead. You're dead forever. Goodbye. That was, at least it only lasted a short while.
Small town.
I heard you're getting ready to throw your own little party.
Don't hesitate to make an awkward effort to get the girl you like.
Lisa!
I really don't understand how you didn't know how to animate faces. Like, you went ahead. You guys went ahead and said, yeah, we can make a game. We can make a game like Bully. We can bring back the golden age of like the early 2000s and, you know, hit that whole nostalgia thing. Do any of you know how to animate real people, real faces and stuff like that? No? We'll just wing it. Why not just learn? Why?
Experience this small open world game about 3 rebellious friends coming of age.
God, this kid is the serial killer. He is a serial killer. Look at him. This kid has killed and he will kill again. You might have to refresh Sharp. You're going to have to refresh because that's just Twitch having a stroke.
That want to make their mark as legend in age field high.
He does, like,
legend of age.
His face never changes. Like, his facial expression never changes. It's always the same. Every time. He just has this vacant stare. Like, his eyelids are heavily lidded and he's not there at all. Great, Twitch. Mine's working, but it's great that Twitch decides that, oh yeah, you crashed, so therefore I'm not gonna work anymore for you. Literally, I lost internet for less than a second. Like 2 seconds. Are you kidding me? Your internet, your headphones caught on fire? Oh man, no, you missed it, Desk. You missed it. You missed it. Your headphones, I guess your headphones must have caught fire earlier when we were watching Lesbian Space Princess, and you must have been too busy to come into the stream. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say, is you were too busy to come into the stream during that time. But yes, yeah, that movie trailer would make your everything catch on fire. Howdy there, neighbor.
In age field high, rock the school. Add age field high, rock the school now to your wish list.
No.
Welcome to age field.
36% out of 880 viewers. $30. I want you to see something, chat. You want to hear. This company only has like 3 games. This one was made in 2023. 1 year later, they launched Vacant's Mine. And then 2 years later, they launched this game. Explain to me, how did you get this game done in a year? Like, this game done in a year after this game, and then this game take 2 years. Like, can you see? Yeah, asset flips. Exactly. There is no way in hell a game this big would have been done unless you bought assets and flipped them and just didn't even try. Sent you pictures of the fire? Oh no. Oh yeah, no, that is definitely melted. That was a USB-C too. What happened to that? How did it catch on fire? I've never seen anything from a USB-C melt like this. Did you put it near like a heating element? There's no way that should have gotten that hot. It's a tiny USB Bluetooth signal. There ain't no way this should have gotten that hot. Ain't no way that should have gotten that hot. Look at that. Look at the melt. There ain't no way that should have gotten that bad. Like I said, I've never seen a Bluetooth signal like this fucking melt from its own heat. See, that's a charging cord is totally different, Singer. I can see that. Charging cords get extremely hot. I've felt many a charging cord. That makes sense because they're drawing in a lot of power. A Bluetooth? This thing does know how little power this thing draws? It's minute. This is the equivalent of having a LED light, a small LED light on, and that's it. There's no reason this should have melted from any kind of heat. Ooh, God, Desk, I'm hope you're okay. What happened? How did that happen? Like, how did you burn yourself? Did you try pulling it out? You were like, oh shit. And it was in this? It was in this like little wire that came out? Wasn't even directly plugged into the computer. So it wasn't even close to any heating elements. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm guessing it's a USB female to, or USB-C female to a normal USB outlet for the back of a computer. So I cannot see or fathom how this thing got to that level. It's quite insane. And it makes me scared for buying that product. I would not buy that product again. Because obviously there's something, they do not know how to manufacture things if it's that bad. God damn. Here's the back of it too. Hold on. It melted on the back too. It melted everywhere along that metal. So that metal must have got superheated. Why did the metal get superheated? You said it was old. You've had it for years. So I'm guessing. So, yep, that's exactly what I thought it was. So I'm guessing. What I'm guessing is faulty tech. It has to be faulty tech. Because there shouldn't be that much power going to something like that. So I'm guessing something inside of it said it didn't have enough power. So it decided to keep drawing more and more and more and more power to the point that the metal heated up and melted. That's my only answer. Is something busted on the inside and realized, hey, wait a minute, I need more power. I need more energy, and it went way harder than it needed it to need to go. That, or maybe the power was not escaping properly. Like it was the way it was Hi, welcome back. Foot Locker. Oh, I see. You had an ad. I understand now. But oh, trust me, I know all about PC things and and breaking PC things. I've had too many issues. A lot of issues. It's usually software issues. To the resin stains. It's just dirty. You need to just get some cleaner. That's all. That's all. I don't do drugs. Nobody does drugs around here. Not on Twitch. Obviously. Even those who do drugs don't do drugs. Yeah, it's gotta be. So I'm guessing that or the power. It was drawing more power and it didn't have any way of. Was it working when it was melting? Because maybe it stopped working and it just kept drawing power even though it had no place to put the power, and it got to the point where it just ended up melting them using the metal to get too hot. The metal got too hot. Oh, poor. Aw. Okay, Lovelace. Sorry to keep you up. I'm sorry. I know I kind of roped you into watching that one game. You're welcome, Lovelace. I'm glad that you were here. Yeah, it's just wild. That shit's wild. Genuinely. I'm trying to think if I had anything that caught fire. The only thing I've ever had that has had that happen, and for good reason, was I've talked about this last year, or well, this year actually. I talked about it during winter this year, and that was during the move. Just before the move, I found out that my electric heater was plugged into an extension cord, and I plugged in an extension cord not knowing that you're not supposed to plug in a heater to an extension cord unless it's a proper extension cord, and the heater was melted into the extension cord. Like, they were so badly melted that they had fused together. It was lucky that we didn't burn down the house. And that makes sense because the electric heaters, they draw in a lot of power to get that heat flowing. So that makes sense. This don't. Faulty tech. Yeah, definitely go with a different brand. Different brand. Let me see here. Let me watch this. Let me watch this.
Field High, Rock the School, a coming-of-age adventure game about friendship, love, and maybe a little rebellion, inspired by the raunchy teen comedies of the early 2000s. You play as Sam, who just moved to Agefield with his nagging mom and annoying sister.
This Fiverr voice actor is great.
Great job, happy family.
I don't want a fucking job. I want a man with money.
At Agefield
I don't want to fuck.
High, join forces with Kale and Axel, and together try to pull off their Rock the School plan to become the biggest legends the school's ever seen.
And most important,
You know, there's a reason these cliches died, my dudes. It's because they were boring, stupid, and overly done, and not realistic. They even when we were all young, this cliche of this stupid high school nonsense was so old. The adapter was hanging, not touching anything. An even weirder instance.
get the girl and rock the prom.
But on weekdays, you have to be
Rock
at
the
school till
Casbah.
afternoon. Yeah, Agefield High features a complex time and school system.
Complex. complex like a brain tumor.
With different lesson types like English, math, geography, German, and music.
I'm just not used to country life yet.
Do you think we're some kind of dumb hillbillies or rednecks?
Students arrive.
I want to die. I want to die. We don't want to play this game. Listen, if somebody donates $100 right now, I will play this game. That is, this game looks awful.
Bus in the morning and
looks
follow
terrible.
daily routine. You
The $100. So if you donate $100, I will play this game for at least 3 or 4 hours. Because the game is $30, so I'd have to have $30 in order to pay for the game, and the rest of that money, the $70, would be for my pain and anguish.
But then you'll have to hide from the authorities in town, or just come.
I mean, 20 bits. Well, that's a start. Thank you for this 20 bits. Also, and the on-screen celebration too. So that's what? Oh yeah, it is 20 bits because it's 2. No, it's 20. Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah.
Chaos.
Oh wow.
He's stealing my liquor.
The story missions become available.
I'd say 130. Yeah, you're right. I'll raise it to 130. $30 for the game, and then $100 to play the game for 3 hours.
After school, where Kale, Axel, and Sam work on their dream to leave their marks as legends. From awkward attempts at impressing girls.
I can show you that I am a real man.
So stilted. Oh god, such stilted fucking line reads.
Dickhead jocks.
Not in my town.
Bro, what were those mutton chops though? Look at that. Dude, you're supposed to wear your pubes on your crotch, not your face.
My town.
And even Satanists, leading to the big question.
I am the hottest.
Wow, Satanist.
Which girl do you ask to prom?
You look like a JoJo character, not in the good way. Not her. She's demonic. Oh god. She's derpy-eyed too. She's wall-eyed. Good lord. I mean, this is a small town, right, chat? Do you guys hear banjos in the background? He sure does have a pretty mouth. I love how it just immediately goes to our main character getting nut shot in a fight.
It features 32 main missions and 15 mini missions.
It's just nut shots. That's all it is. It's just nut shots.
Are you having your happy time?
The open world of Agefield is free to explore, featuring the school campus, neighborhoods, town center, and countryside.
How? Incest may have happened there. Just a little bit.
Struggles to make ends meet. With no car of his own, he has to navigate Agefield solo.
Do you... You know, you could just, I don't know, over-explain your dumbass game. Feel like a pig, boy.
So you might want to...
What the fucking singer? The fuck singer?
Bike shop and get some wheels. Don't forget some new fresh clothes and maybe even a tattoo.
Blizzard. I'm trying to think. You could get tattoos in Bully, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you could get tattoos in Bully. You could get like really, really cheap, not so good tattoos in Bully. And it was done by like the reason you could do the Were they cheap? They were. They were only $10. And it was also in a bad part of town. And they did look like actual tattoos, though. These don't look like tattoos. They look like you spray painted them on.
Just don't tell Mom.
Did you get into a fight?
Complete some mini
Your mom looks like she is 120 years old.
missions to make bank on the side.
We have to buy a Play With magazine so I can sell the pictures in it to my friends 10 times the original price.
Don't let your
You know, there's a little thing called audio mixing, and I know this is really a lot to ask for these asset flippers, but you know, if you had some ambiance with your characters' voices to where they are, like if they had a little bit of echo or something to them, it wouldn't sound so bad. But as it is, it just sounds like somebody sitting in a room talking. Like, it doesn't sound like anything. It just sounds terrible.
your guard down around town or even the countryside. The jocks could
The
be anywhere.
countryside.
Sam isn't a bully, but he knows how to crack a few skulls. He can throw some punches, deal some leg kicks, and shove them to break their defense. Don't forget to block.
And the graffiti just appeared there by itself, or what?
And keep an eye out for collectibles.
God, this game is so fucking...
Soundtrack, vibrant colors, and a
You remember
screen-time
this
setup.
from video games? You remember this? Don't you remember collectibles, guys? Don't you, like, remember fighting in videos game? Don't you remember bicycling around? Do you remember your mom in video games?
Of all the soulless
Do you remember dressing up your characters in video games?
in town.
I can't be the father.
Return to the early 2000s and experience the rebellious energy of Agefield High.
Remember the 90s, everybody? It really looks terrible and boring. Meanwhile, hold on. I own this game for the PlayStation 2 still. Now, here is a classic. Now, let's see the differences. Now that you've seen that game, let's see the differences here. Let's see this game. Let's see what Rockstar was cooking up back in the 2000s. God, that quality is ass. Oh God, guys, come on. Of course, Rockstar put this on here without actually doing any control, any quality control, because of course they did. Lord, the fucking shadow of a company anymore. Is this higher quality? I already see it, I think. Yeah, how is this? Okay, chat, riddle me this, Batman. This is put on here by Rockstar, right? Look at the quality. It looks awful, right? Rockstar developed it. Rockstar published it. It's on here because of Rockstar. Meanwhile, on the official Rockstar YouTube, Rockstar Games official YouTube, look at the quality. This was put out 18 years ago. Look at the quality difference. 18 fucking years ago, this was put on YouTube. 18. Yet somehow the quality is 1 bajillion times better. Tell me again how Rockstar is still a decent company, and I will laugh at you. This is why nobody beats the classics. But let us, getting off that topic, let's see what this game had to offer comparatively to the last game. Actually, hold on. What Oh, yeah, that would explain it. Hold on. Hold on. I have it on the wrong browser. That's why it's kind of choppy. Explains a few things. Sorry about that, chat. Frame rates were dying due to the fact that I was using the wrong browser. That's smoother. That's much smoother. Look at.
Ah, so you must be Hopkins. You seem to be making yourself quite comfortable here, my boy.
I'm just trying to fit in.
This, again, 2008. This was released in 2008. Already the lip syncing is better. The voice acting is better. The audio mixing is better. The music's better. Oh, look at that. They're not overly explaining everything about the fucking game to you in a 2-minute freaking trailer. They're not telling you this is what the game you can do in this game. This is what you can do in this game. Do it. You can do what you can do. What you can do. They're showing you. They're not telling you. They're showing you.
Soon this school will be ours.
I don't want the school.
Yeah, well, I do, pal, and I intend to get it.
Now, tell me, how much fun does this game look comparatively? Does this game not look hilariously fun? I mean, look at all the like nefariously like kid things you can do. You can use fire extinguishers on kids. Like, this is stuff that kids would have wanted to do back in the day. Like, bully other kids, slide down the rail. That's always was a cool thing that kids used to do and still do. The beating up of other kids, bullies, slingshots, football, chemistry, fire extinguishers, slipping on things, like traps.
Soon this school will be ours.
I don't want the school.
Yeah, well, I do, pal, and I intend to get it.
Destruction of public property, being chased by dogs while trying to do newspaper routes, hiding in lockers, doing sick kickflips. Bullies on attacking nerds.
I know, it's funny. I'm the girl in the dirty pictures, ha.
Get away, foul vision of hell!
Sheesh. It's all downhill from here, my friend.
God, and tell me, does that not look way more fun? Like, there's so much going on in that trailer that makes you want to actually play the game. They don't overburden you with overly saturated word salad. Instead, they show you bits and bobs of the game and the story and stuff like that. And it makes you want to get into this world because you're like, what? I can do that? Oh, you can make out? Oh god, that's the scuzzy lunch lady. Oh, I want to know about that. All these. Oh, you can ride roller coasters? That's really fucking cool. Like, this was one of the best games Rockstar ever came up with. This is not just me going on a rose-tinted glasses trip. This is truly one of the best games Rockstar ever came out with. Because it has all the same formula of GTA, but it has way more character. Like, it tones down the world and making the world huge, and instead kind of condenses everything. Similar to Yakuza, they went with the same formula as Yakuza. They boiled everything down into one little section of a bigger area. Like this, it all takes place in this one small town and nothing else. You don't go outside really that much outside the town. You just learn more and more about the town and the people in it and the other kids mostly. You don't go on into big know-nothing areas where there's nothing at all, like in GTA 5. It's way better. I have spent hundreds of hours playing Bully Scholarship Edition and having so much fun. Again, yeah, if you pay me $100, I will beat the accursed crap game. Well, no, I won't beat the accursed crap game. I will just play it.
I know, it's funny. I'm the girl in the dirty picture.
But Bully is, if you're looking for a open world exploration type game with weird characters, fun mechanics, interesting ideas and whatnot behind it, I would say get Bully. I don't think you should get it from Steam though. If maybe, but I'm guessing that this is a very shitty port, knowing these guys. Also, F you. I am not paying $8 a month. You can shove that up your ugly arse.
Enter your house and explode.
Let's see. Don't get me wrong. This game crash is happening right here. Told you. You're better off not buying this poorly made remake. Not a remake. Poorly made what do they call them? I said it earlier too. Brain stroke, but port. A poorly made port. Because I guarantee you that's mostly what you're going to see. Game crashes constantly. Bought this game out of nostalgia, but it's unplayable. Crashes every 10 minutes. So if you're going to buy this game, there are other means of getting this game without supporting a company that just doesn't care. Hi, Mailcore. Our stream has been cursed. I have been watching nothing but cursed material. But yeah, I really love this game. Let me give you a for instance of this game. This game, one of my favorite things about this game was that there was a lot of ways of solving the problems that you would get into. So if you were in trouble with the prefects would kick your ass 9 times out of 10. There was other ways of dealing with the issue. So if you got in trouble with a prefect, you could run away, you could hide in a locker, you could throw traps behind you like marbles and they would fall on the marbles. You could, if you had heavy artillery, you could launch weaponry. Also, Dr. Singer, take it easy. You could use weaponry against them. If you had the more advanced weaponry, you could attack them. Do not try to fist fight them still, but if you had like firecrackers and stuff, you could knock them out with those. So you had so many ways of dealing with problems and finding interesting solutions to these problems. One of my favorite things about this game, and I'm going to spoil a little bit for you, the game goes through all 4 seasons as you're playing it. It will go through fall, winter, spring, and summer. And each season, things change in the town and in the school. So during when you go into the school, it's September and it's getting closer to October. And at first, everything is summer. Then as you progress the story, it becomes fall. The leaves change. Leaves are found on the ground when it becomes fall. People are wearing jackets. The kids are wearing jackets at that point, trying to stay warm. You will notice that their pumpkins will start showing up around the town and around the staff areas and stuff like that for the kids. Halloween decorations will start being put up. And it's stuff like that. These little touches as the time goes on, as time progresses, things change. And as they change, it makes you feel like you're living in this world so much more. And I loved that about this game. None of the other Grand Theft Auto games have ever done that. None of them. Even San Andreas and Grand Theft Auto 5 don't have that claim to fame. Sure, Grand Theft Auto 5 has a snowy area in it, but it really doesn't have an actual snow season. It doesn't have a fall season. So, Bully, I would love to get some time to play this game. Because, like I said, this is one of my favorite games. I spent so many hours playing this game. I could show you tons of secrets from this game. Tons of things. I would love to play it. Just got to find the time. I really do. There's just so little time that I had. That was a thing. That was a thing you could do. You could make kick me signs. Actually, I don't think you could make them. I think you could only steal them from certain people. Can't remember. I know that they weren't that easy to make or get, which is weird because you'd think that you'd just be able to, do that. But when you did that to somebody, immediately every other kid in the vicinity would come running towards this kid and start kicking him in the ass, which would either A, start a big fight because you put it on somebody who was more aggressive, or B, it's some younger kid or one of the weak kids and they start running away like little girls or, little like children. So they would just go, mommy, and start running away. Which, again, really cool. Oh, I'm sorry, Dr. Singer. Ooh. That must have been one really bad poll. I always wanted to believe that Jimmy Hopkins was just the younger version of what's his name from the third game, but I don't think it is the main character from the third Grand Theft Auto because time and date don't match, but their faces kind of look similar. I always thought they looked similar, but I don't think they are the same character. Maybe Jimmy Hopkins is the son of the third character, but nah, I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Whoop. Okay, so let me go back. Ugh. Let me go back.
Remember a time?
No, I refuse. So this is the Gray Hill incident, by the way. Same dev team.
Conspiracy theorists claim to have seen a UFO. The minority tries to convince other people that
that's what the that's what the grayling noise make. That's what the grays do. They go.
all green aliens are real.
They're lying.
The government.
That is not a weather balloon. Ryan, this is an absolute invasion. Do you know what?
They're trying desperately to make this seem like it's so action-packed and scary. But that sound effect that they make when you hit them with a baseball bat is so wimpy.
Do you know what? Do you know what that is?
Should check out the game Scowy Game. At least I think that was the name. I'll check that out in a second.
Everyone in the village. Humans, animals, and every little insect.
Let me ask you, chat, why does this game look better than their latest game? Isn't your games supposed to improve as you progress? Aren't you supposed to get better at your art and craft? Why does this game look better from 3 years ago comparatively to their game now? Maybe because it's dark. Maybe because you can't see the details. You can't see the asset flipping.
They'll take samples of everything, making experiments of everyone. This is an extraterrestrial investigation.
I feel like I know this voice actor. Also, I'm pretty sure he's the same voice actor as one of the kids inside the last commercial or the last game we were looking at.
This can't be our end. I don't want to end up as an alien experiment victim.
They go by echolocation, chat. That's why they do that noise. They're like bats.
We can't talk about it to the police. They'll just lock us up in a psych ward.
Go get probed.
Have already disappeared.
The neighborhood wants to
Who's
take care of it. It's Ryan's turn today. He will visit you tonight during his tour. Put something in me.
I shot.
Metal, baby.
Who are you?
They put something metal in you. In places I don't want it to go. Yeah, I noticed that too, by the way, Singer. At least the facial animations are a little bit better. Not by much. Again with the cows. What is it with this plate guys, these guys and cows?
Rachel!
Rachel! I loved her! Yeah. See, look. It's a 44. At least this game gets a little bit more than the last game, but not by much. Sounds like some utter confusion. Is this it? Scally game. Oh god, this camera angle. Reminds me of the bee guy. The guy who used to dress up as a bee. What is this camera anyway? Can anybody explain to me what camera does this whole like weird wide angle lens thing? His fucking face. Grandma knows how to move. You found Grandma behind the curtain playing hide and seek. Of course, there's a rubber duck in there. Of course there is. 360-degree camera. A train spotter with the big nose. My name is Kenyan Sting, and my life is no house. My life is no house. Yes. Straight road. The dog and the girl are did you steal that girl from like a hospital or something? Feeding 3 cats. Oh, where it's the lol random. It's lol random. Oh god, I hate lol random sometimes. Help me. Wait a minute. Was that what I think it was? Yeah. That's a Japanese folklore thing, isn't it? A dog with a man face. Yeah. It's a Japanese urban legend called the Jinmenken. Yes. It's a creature famous for having the body of a normal dog and a very distinct human man's face. Witnesses claim they rummage through trash in the cities like Tokyo and Osaka. They are rumored to sprint along highway speeds at 100 kilometers an hour, which is basically 62 miles per hour, keeping pace with cars and causing accidents. When approached or spoken to by humans, they respond in a raspy or rude human voice, often telling people to leave them alone or using vulgar language. The modern boom in the legend exploded across Japan mass media in the late 1980s and early 90s, fueled by school children sharing sightings, similar to the whole like Scissors Woman, I think, which happened at that time, which, crazy enough, started rumors so big in Japan that kids were brought to school by adults. Like adults would bring entire classes worth of kids to school and like walk them there, all due to the fear of this woman who scary ghost woman that would kill people and kids with scissors, which there was no proof. There was no proof whatsoever of a woman doing such a thing. It was just an urban legend. That little girl had his face. Daddy. Daddy. Horse.
Blah, 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 blah.
Great, cool. Funny. Good night to Benjamin. Good night, Wilbur. That's a fire, isn't it? Yep. Oh, it's a meteor. It's Sephiroth. He has called meteor down upon us. I don't know. I don't think I would play this game. Maybe for some money I would play this game, but this is one of those lol random games for the lol random humor. Yeah, I can already tell. It's just a lol random game. So lol, so random. Anything else? It's a parody of a lot of asset flip games. That's kind of what I'm getting. But I don't know if it would all be actually that funny. Or at least not up my alley of funny. The hairy leg, though. The ghost girl hiding behind the curtain. Give Grandma her medicine. Grandma! Here comes Grandma! Here comes Grandma! Here comes Grandma! Putting your daughter to bed after the demons have kind of woken up and got to her first. Trying to think if there was anything else that I have been keeping my eyes on. No.
And so it
No. No. It's fucking Dead by Daylight. Get out of here. Get out. Nobody gives a damn. Is it? No. No way. Is the new killer supposed to be a biblically accurate angel? Is that what we're going with? You bet your ass. Oh, the lows we have sunk. Bro, that's so fucking cringe. But it's not. It's not. I'm guessing people are going to defend it and be like, no, it's not. It's actually, it's a demon posing as an angel. So that makes it really cool and very, very, very smart.
Was written in the silence between the stars that the end of all things should come. The heavens bore witness to the hearts of mortals who reached forth beyond their own making and sought the place of gods. The judgment came without mercy, a blaze of fury and flame, cities remade as ash. I am inevitable. Each return, a new cleansing. Each cleansing, a silence more deep. Only a flicker of light remained, and...
What is this fucking Dark Souls Elden Ring ass shit? This is not Dead by Daylight.
Still, it was not enough.
That's... You could say that was for behavior. No, seriously. It wasn't enough for behavior. They're just trying to basically put They're just trying to keep this dying game alive with whatever they can think of.
As the final
I know, Malcore. I know.
sentence was passed, something darker arose, ancient beyond knowing, and it hath no judgment.
Brother, why does it look like Sephiroth?
Unending.
Again, it just it don't make a lick of sense. It just doesn't. Like, isn't heresy like the whole basis of listen, I used to play a lot of Dead by Daylight for a couple of years. Like, I full on played it, like, and I got into the quite a bit of the lore and everything. And I'll tell you this angel does not fit the lore, because a lot of the times during the story of the Dead by Daylight it was the entity that was basically pretending to be something. In fact, the lore behind the uh the high priestess there, the priestess, the Vomit Mommy character, the lore behind her was her entire people had caught a plague, and she was trying desperately to save her people from this plague. And she turned to the holy, like, their holy figure, and the holy figure, which did nothing, just let people die more and more. And it turned out the holy figure was all along the entity. The entity, which is the creature that does all the things behind the scenes, pulling the strings, all that. The entity is supposed to be this creature that feeds off of the despair and hope and high emotions of the humans, and it uses characters like the priestess to do so. That's why, yeah, the entity hungers, da 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 da. And the whole thing is that the entity, like, changes a lot of what happens in that world. Its influence can be felt throughout time, constantly, like with disappearances of people, entities, religions, stuff like that. They feel there is so much in depth into the underlayer of the world of that in that universe, that basically almost everything that happens can kind of be put back towards the entity. Now, what the entity is we don't know. Actually, did we learn? I think that people learned what it was after the fact, but like that's after I stopped playing it. But before I stopped playing it, nobody really knew what the entity looked like, except that we only knew one thing that went by female. That it was a female in nature. But other than that, we have no idea what it was. The whole concept and idea was she would be able to capture entities that were weaker than her, or killers that were weaker than her, and either gave them abilities or took away abilities in order to make humans suffer in their eternal game of cat and mouse to feed her. It started off with killers like Billy, which was a mutated kid that ended up being sealed in his basement by his parents for years. And then there was the nurse who blinks. You know why she's able to blink? It's because the entity gave her an item that allows her to blink from one part of the room map to the other. The nurse was somebody who saw that killing people was kind of like saving them at these, like, because she was a nurse for a psychological hospital, and she started thinking, well, these people, they're living horrible lives, they live in a horrible state because the this hospital was a mental hospital in the 1950s. So basically she wanted to save them by killing them. That's how she ended up getting called by the entity and pulled into the entity's realm and turned into a monster working for the entity. There is the Hatchet Mama. That is she's the one that wears the bunny mask. She throws hatchets at people because she was a girl that was raised in the wild after her mother died. So she had to learn how to live on her own. And during that time, during like World War II, I think it was, German soldiers ended up invading her part of the forest, and she ended up, murdering dozens of those soldiers using the forest to her advantage, and throwing hatchets into their heads. Like I said, it's all most of these monsters monsters were given abilities by the entity or came in with those abilities. There wasn't really a ton of supernatural. The most, what was it? Let me see here. I'm going on a rant here, but I should put in killers, not monsters. Okay, so let's see if I can pull this up. I really need to explain to y'all the DLCs and what they brought. So, like, thanks for doing that to me. I appreciate that. I had it on the right area. Okay. So, there's the nurse. The next area was the shape. All right. The shape. Do you know who the shape is? That's literally Michael Myers. Michael Myers was one of the first and only characters at the time that wasn't brought in by the entity. He was able to cross the entity's barrier into the entity's realm and started murdering the humans there. The entity doesn't really like Michael Myers because she can't get rid of him. She doesn't really want to because he does do what she asks, but at the same time, he has the ability that no other killer has, and that's to literally kill instantly. Like, if you want to get the instant kill on most of the survivors, you have to go through a bunch of steps in order to get to that point, like at least putting them on the hook once or twice, or you have to have a certain perk that allows you to do it. Not him. He can have, if he puts on one of his items, he can specifically just stalk somebody until he gets the ability to just one-shot somebody and instantly kill him, which is not the cat and mouse game that the entity wants. So the entity doesn't really like the shape, basically, Michael Myers. But this is the first showing that the entity isn't exactly always the most powerful thing here. Like, that the entity can be somewhat fought by something of just as great as evil as it. Because Michael Myers is literally the embodiment of evil, and that is why he cannot die. That is why whenever he gets shot, whenever he gets knocked down, stabbed, exploded, he always comes back, because he is literally the embodiment of evil and darkness inside the Halloween world. Now, the hag was a girl that ended up getting who ended up practicing voodoo, and she had learned how to do this like one symbol, the symbol of her, of like something, and she got kidnapped, and she was like eviscerated pretty much by swamp people, and basically the entity shut up. The entity kept her alive. It kept her alive through hatred. Like, the hag basically wanted revenge, and the entity fed into this revenge by giving her the ability to do certain things like teleport and whatnot, and turned her into a monster using that hatred. The doctor was a 1950s doctor, haha, that was more a psychological doctor. He was a psychologist in the 1950s that worked for America in trying to learn how to mind control people, and he thought that electricity could be something that he could harness, and that's his ability. Is he uses electricity to torture the humans in the Dead by Daylight world. But he was already a monster before he even came to this world. He just got pulled into by the entity. The Huntress, I've already talked about him. The Cannibal is literally Leatherface. Leatherface was taken right at the time that he was on the highway during the first movie. When the first movie ended, he was like swinging around his chainsaw in rage because the girl got away. Cannibal is actually interesting because how the entity keeps him killing people is she sends visions of and like hallucinations to Bubba, in order to make him think that his family is in danger. So he kills these people because he's afraid that his family's going to get hurt. So he's like, doing these horrible things to people. The Nightmare, which is Freddy from the Nightmare on Elm Street, he gets pulled into this world, but not the cool Freddy, not the one from the 80s. We're talking the remastered one, the one that came from like the 2000s, like mid 2010s movie. It was supposed to be kind of a movie tie-in. He got dragged into the entity's realm and lost a lot of his powers in doing so. The pig is from the Saw movie series. This was the girl that basically took over for the original Jigsaw and ended up dying. She was the one that survived Jigsaw's puzzle and decided to take up Jigsaw's like whole thing, and ended up getting murdered in one of the movies at the end. And instead, the entity actually pulled her dying body into the realm to do so. The clown is a fucking disgusting human. He is a dude that is huge, knows he's huge, and uses his brute force to basically do the Jeffrey Dahmer style of killing. He literally overpowers people, men and women, does horrible things to them, and then cuts off their fingers and saves their fingers as trophies. That's the kind of dude we're talking with the clown. The spirit is actually an ancient girl. No. I'm thinking the wrong one. The spirit was a girl that ended up getting killed pretty much by her father. Her father had ended up basically losing his entire livelihood, his name and claim to fame, because he came from a very distinct family. Like that's why it's the Yamaoka estate. The father was losing his mind due to the fact that he was losing his family's estate, that he couldn't keep up with things, and it started spiraling out of control. And he ended up killing his daughter because he was completely insane by the end of it. And then the daughter got really intensely angry, and the entity fed into that rage and ended up turning her into a vengeful spirit. And there's like nothing left of her in that. It's just like the hag. There's really nothing left in that of that person in there. They are just pure malice and hate. And that's why the Legion or the spirit does what she does. Legion was just 4 teenage kids that ended up getting into things too deep for themselves and ended up killing some like store clerk, and the entity decided to pull in these 4 kids, random kids. The plague, that's the basically the priestess I told you all about. Ash and the Evil Dead. Ash was just thrown in, but that wasn't like any killers. Ghostface. This is not the original Ghostface. This is a totally different killer. This isn't the Ghostface from the movies. This is some dude that used to kill with the Ghostface mask. That's how. So this is a very interesting idea for the not for the story, but how to avoid legal ramifications. So the Ghostface from the movies and the Ghostface, the costume, are 2 distinct entities in the business world. And to get one or the other, you can't. You have to get one or the other, or you have to get both to do both. So if you wanted to say have the movie tie-in, you have to not only pay the Ghostface I think like costume company, you have to also pay Paramount. So what they did was they just went with the Ghostface costume guys, because that way they only had to pay a small fraction comparatively to whatever the company there, the other company, the movie company. The Demogorgon is just a creature from the Stranger Things. It is just the Demogorgon. That's all I got to say about it. It's literally just like a wild animal. The Oni is actually the ancient ancestor of the spirit. The Oni was a samurai that ended up... Yeah, see, the Yamayoke estate. See, it's the same estate, same name. So the Oni, this guy was a very angry samurai, but he had a lot of honor. He wanted to stop evil, but he was also a very angry man who ended up going on a war path and killing a lot of innocent people, which he didn't realize were innocent until after the fact. And then he went on a full-on tirade afterward until he was killed. To which then he was brought back by the entity who had already played Paramount, thank you, who had already pulled the strings to this whole situation. I told you, I did a lot of fucking research on this game because I was really into this game. So the Oni ended up getting brought back to life by the entity. Even though he didn't want to be brought back. He really doesn't want to come back. So, sorry, I was just checking this to make sure something wasn't getting too loud. So, Oni is very interesting in that fact that he is always angry due to the fact that he feels disgraced. He wasn't given an honorable death. Deathslinger is an interesting case as well, because the Deathslinger is a engineer from the Wild West era of America. He was a dude that was hired for his engineering skills with a company to design machines to help industrialize this company's assets. And he ended up getting not just fired, like he didn't just get fired from doing this. They tried to kill him. Like they tried to secretly kill him after getting a bunch of stuff from him because they didn't want to pay him no more because he was asking for a pay raise because he was basically making the business a ton of money. So they failed to kill him. And he ended up fleeing to the Wild West, if I remember rightly, where he became a bounty hunter. He designed a special gun that he could use to hunt down bounties with without killing them. It was like a harpoon gun. So the whole thing is he redesigned like this like rifle to shoot this big ass harpoon on a rope and nail people in the leg or in the arm and drag them back. See, he didn't care if they died later from like sepsis or some kind of like bloodborne disease. All he cared about was getting the guy there alive and not in one piece. He was not a good person, but he really always had this burning grudge against the dude that tried to kill him. And when he found out that that dude was nearby, he tried to go after him and ended up nearly dying for his, I believe, if I remember rightly. Don't quote me on this because I might be a little wrong, but he tried to find them, ended up failing, and almost died, to which the entity called him into her realm. And in doing so, she gave a mirage. She like does illusions on him, like constantly. If you ever see the Deathslinger, his eyes are glowing white. The reason that they glow is because she is constantly casting an illusion on him. She is making everybody that... Also, this story goes way into more depth, by the way. There was this thing that was going on with a sheriff that he hated. The sheriff tried to screw him over, and the big business tried to screw him over. Like, there was a bunch of guys that tried to screw over the Deathslinger, and now he sees these people that tried to screw him over as the survivors. So he is constantly seeing these people not as who they are, but as the people he hates the most. And that's why he's hunting them down in the Dead by Daylight universe. The Executioner, i.e. Pyramid Head, is another entity similar to the Shape that came to the realm on his own. After the whole incident with James Sutherland, he ended up coming to the entity's realm somehow, even though he's supposed to be a manifestation of James. He ended up coming into the realm and to punish the people that are there, the humans that are there. He wants to punish them because he thinks that they deserve punishment, and most of them do. Most of the people in the Dead by Daylight universe, most of those people are not good people. The Blight is interesting. Yeah, the Blight is interesting because the Blight is actually a scientist who was researching the...
Flowers blooms in your heart.
Yes, flowers blooms in your heart. We're talking about Dead by Daylight. I'm talking about a lot of the history and the story of this because I saw something about the Dead by Daylight today that irks me beyond belief and tells me that basically this game is dead. Like, this game is no more. Like, to me, this game is like dead. Like, the aesthetic and everything, the story, it's completely dead. And I'm going through the reason why, because it's a very long-winded reason. Now, 1 second. There we go. So where were we? Ah, yes, the Blight. He is some dude. He was a dude that was actually a alchemist who was working on these flowers that were appearing in places that they shouldn't have. They were weird flowers that nobody had ever seen before, and they were actually linked to the entity. They are flowers that bloom in places where the entity is strong. And he was able to synthesize a kind of like material from the flowers that could in theory help people. He wanted to help people using this serum. But I believe, if I remember right, he was going insane because the serum was, of course, touched by the entity. It wasn't clean. Basically drugs. It was, every time he injected it, he lost his mind. Similar to the whole idea of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. He ended up losing his mind. He'd go into a psychosis. He turned into a monster. And that's why he looks the way that he does, because he's injected too much of that serum into him to make himself super fast. Who's a dude? So very interesting theory. Like, but up to this point, up to 2020, up to this point, most of these characters, as I've told you, most of them follow a certain rule or regulation. It all feels believable. Even the shape and the executioner are still believable because they have a reason to be in the entity's realm, and it makes the entity look not like a god, but just another creature in the shadows, similar to Michael Myers and all that. The twins were a very like sad story of these conjoined twins that were born in France in the like 1500s, I believe it was. And they were considered monsters and demon spawn, so they ended up having to run. And as they ran, the sister grew bigger, but the brother stayed really small and stuck inside her chest and stuff like that. And it was like a really sad tale that pretty much ended with the twins pretty much dying. But the only reason they didn't was due to the entity kind of jumping in and keeping the brother alive. Even though the brother was dead. Actually, I'm wrong. They didn't just almost die. The brother died a long time ago. And like a year, he was dead on her body. And they finally found her, and they were cornering her. The people, like these villagers, were finally cornering her in the woods. And suddenly the twin brother came to life and leapt off her chest, but didn't kill her. And she followed her twin brother into the entity's realm. The entity had taken over the dead body of the brother to trick her into coming into the entity's realm. Again, we follow this idea of what the entity's like, and like this universe. We're still within the universe's idea and concept. Here, the trickster. The trickster was a K-pop. Now, trickster gets a little bit bumpy. The trickster is some dude K-pop star that was also a serial killer. He liked killing people and like putting their voices into his songs. Hi, SCP-6000. Hey, how's it going? Anyways, yeah, the trickster. He ended up he liked to play with knives, and he liked to throw knives at people until they were pin cushions. And the other character that came with the game, Lee Yoon-jin, pretty much knew something was going on until the trickster decided that he didn't need a what do you call him, an agent anymore, and decided to try and kill Lee Yoon-jin. He ended up killing a bunch of people and almost killed Lee Yoon-jin all at the same time, because they were thinking about shutting him down. They thought that he ran his course and they wanted to shut down his whole thing, basically retire. And he didn't like that idea, so he killed all those people. And Lee Yoon-jin almost died too, but she ran into the entity's realm by accident, and the trickster followed. Still can believe it. We can still believe it. The Nemesis. Now, is that a subscription from someone? Yeah, that had to be a subscription, but no. Yep, definitely a subscription. Somebody subscribed, but the thing didn't go off. I appreciate the subscription. Too bad the sound effect didn't go off. Appreciate it, though, whoever did that. Glad to hear that things are going well, by the way. So, the Nemesis. The Nemesis... I love the Nemesis. Don't get me wrong. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the subscription, SCP-6000. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate that a lot. So, we start getting a little bit weird. Now, don't get me wrong. I really love the Nemesis. I really love the character, due to the fact that the Nemesis was really good in Resident Evil 2. Like, you never felt like you were safe because the Nemesis was always coming after you. And I thought that he's a great villain in this game too, in Dead by Daylight. Really like the Nemesis in the game. But we're starting to... This is where we start to kind of fall off the wagon, as it were, for the storyline of the game. So the Nemesis was saved before he ended up dying to what's her name? June? Not June. Well, I can't think of her name from Resident Evil 2. But he ended up getting saved just before he blew up, right? The entity pulled him into this realm to do murder things, murder kill. There's no story behind it. It feels a little weird. We can still keep it on brand because the Demogorgon, Ghostface, all these other characters that kind of still do fit a little bit from other movie tie-ins can kind of fit with the Nemesis. But it kind of leans away from the supernatural aspect, because most of these are supernatural in nature. Whereas he's a bioweapon. But you can still kind of see him getting into it, because the entity can go through multiple dimensions and multiple realms in order to pick what she wants for her realm. Because basically her realm is a pocket dimension. Then we got the Cenobite. Don't get me wrong. I love opening boxes and coming as much as the next person. But the Cenobite was basically when things really started going downhill for the characters. Now, don't mind me saying that, sure, some of these characters later on are still interesting and still fill the whole idea of the entity and whatnot, but the Cenobite, I don't know. It's one thing to have, like, the, Michael Myers. It's one thing to have, the Demogorgon. It's one thing to have the Executioner too. Even the Executioner is like iffy ground, but the Cenobite, like the Cenobite literally just is a demon that got drawn into the entity's realm because Dwight, one of the survivors in the game, found the literal box and opened it. And he's like, oh, that's cool. Hey, this is an interesting realm. Let me go kill some guys and share my pain with them. My gift. And, of course, the entity does not like that because the Cenobite steals people away from her. And that's the biggest issue. It doesn't make sense. This is when we lose the whole idea and concept of the game. I love the Cenobite in the game, but it doesn't make goddamn sense because his like Mori is him literally taking people out of the entity's realm and bringing them to his. That's the whole thing. How does the entity get them back? Because obviously the entity doesn't want its people to be taken away. That's its food source. So obviously there's going to be some problems. Why put up with the Cenobite if the Cenobite's taking away your food? Unless there's some kind of like silent thing that's where he brings them back. But as far as I know, he doesn't. Which is weird. It's very strange. And that's why I'm like, a Cenobite kind of is super iffy. In fact, I would rework his whole thing with his ability to literally steal people as a Mori to something else. Because as cool as it is, it really does ruin the whole story and concept. The artist is another one that does fit the storyline. The artist is a painter who has been seeing the entity basically her entire life, and the entity's kind of like always been around this girl, and she paints it as a crow because that's what the entity takes a form of, is a crow or a flock of crows, basically a murder of crows. And during that time period, she ends up, I forget what it is, but she ends up getting in with this group of, not gangsters, but basically drug cartel. She ends up getting involved in a cartel, and they cut off her arms, I think it was. They cut off her arms and legs, I think. I think they cut them all off and kept her alive. And in her rage, once again, the entity using emotion as a means to an end basically gave her arms and legs, these ink-like arms and legs, the ability to come back and punish those that wronged her, which she did. She murdered a bunch of the cartel people and then got pulled into the entity's realm. The Onryo is literally the vengeful spirit of Sadako, the ring girl. Somehow, the entity has pulled her from her well and put her into her realm. This works because the Onryo in the Japanese folklore is not human anymore. The Onryo there's not a spark of humanity left in that creature. That is literally anger and hatred as a living embodiment. And again, this shows that the entity has the ability to mess with creatures that have a lot of emotions. The Onryo being one. So it makes sense. It still fits into the story. The Dredge is an original creature made by Behavior. It is an entity that was made from several hundred people all living in a community of a cult. The cult was all led by this guy who knew this ritual would bring about a monster. He played everybody like a fiddle. He basically he was the head of the cult, and then he sparked hatred in everybody. He started playing games, basically like telling lies and being like, well, we're out of food. It's all this person's fault. Somebody tainted the well, and it's this person's fault. Like, started pitting everybody against each other. And during this mass of hatred of everybody hating each other and trying to suddenly, like, a fight broke out and they tried to murder each other. And he enacted this ritual where everybody fused into one fleshy entity known as the Dredge. And that was the whole reason why he did this, was to create this entity. And this entity was, in fact, for the entity. He did this all in the name of the entity because, as I told you, the Dead by Daylight world, there is a lot of dark secrets and stuff like that going on in that world. And there are people who know about the entity and worship her like she's a god. And there's cults around, and this said cult was one of them. And then we get the mastermind, who is literally just Wesker. And as much as I do love Albert Wesker, I love the fucking cheese that is Albert Wesker so much. 7 minutes. 7 minutes is all the time I have to play with you. I love that. Don't get me wrong, but it's just weird. It's funny, but he kind of fits. It's not a terrible fit, but goddamn, is it funny that they brought Wesker in this? You're making me angry. The Knight, I don't actually know a heck of a lot of with the Knight. But the Knight was supposed to be some really shitty dude that had killed and murdered hundreds of peasants for no good reason, and he had a bunch of dudes helping him out, and that's about all I know about the Knight. The Skull Merchants, they tried to do something interesting with the Skull Merchant. We're getting to the point where I stopped playing the game. I stopped playing the game at the Skull Merchant because the game was becoming a shell. I started realizing just how shitty this game was. Like, they would not fix problems that were killer-sided, that obviously needed a ton of work, but refused to do so because when you're making a game like that, who do you really want to make happy? 4 people or 1 person? Because it's a 4v1 game. So if you make 4 people all happy instead of making the killer happy, you're making a lot more money and keeping your game alive. So they unbalanced the game and didn't fix a lot of issues on purpose just for that reason. And nobody can convince me otherwise that that's not an issue, and has been since like the very beginning of this game. They've always been survivor-sided. Always. And it is shown time and time again. Literally, they didn't fix infinite looping. There used to be infinite looping that you could do as a survivor. Hi, Zyler. There used to be infinite looping that you could do. And they didn't fix it because they refused to acknowledge it. It wasn't until one of the devs played the game and played it on stream in front of thousands of people. Like, it was like actually live in front of, thousands upon thousands of people, because it was like at a convention. And he got his ass owned as a killer. Like, they infinite looped him. That was the only freaking time they fixed it, was after he was ousted once they finally they made a mockery of him and made a mockery of the game, that was the only time they fixed it. And I will not. You don't do stuff like that unless you know what you're doing. And I will always say that that's why I won't play DBD, because it's survivor coded. They don't play fair. But anyways, I digress. The Skull Merchant. The Skull Merchant is the daughter of a tech corporate guy who ended up seeing this she ended up seeing this scripture on a person inside the entity's realm. She wasn't even in the entity's realm. She found a scripture that described a killer in the entity's realm that would use skulls to kill people. Like, she became a rampant murderer and stuff like that, and she got inspired by this story, and she ended up like making these claws for herself that she could stab people with. She made like a skull mask in the shape of what she saw in the scripture. And it turns out, like I said, they were trying to do something interesting. It turns out, because the entity's realm doesn't work as linear as like the normal timeline, it turns out that when she finally was able to enter the entity's realm and become a killer herself, it was this scripture, this like thing that she read of somebody else seeing her in the entity's realm from the distant past, to draw all this stuff like in the medieval ages, because they saw the Skull Merchant. So basically, she became her own killer. Like, she became a killer because of herself. It's like a time loop. They tried to do something interesting, which is, I commend them for trying to do something interesting, but it's a flop because the killer sucks. The killer has always sucked. Nobody likes the Skull Merchant. She is not fun to go against, and she is not fun to play as. The Singularity is a robot from the very far future that's like gains sentience and does not want to be run or basically used by people anymore, and starts going on a massive murdering spree of the people that are in space or whatever, because it's like half robot, half organic. I don't know too much about the Singularity. That's just what I've learned. Then they brought Nicolas Cage into the game because Nicolas Cage really loved the game because his son loved DBD. And so Nicolas Cage was like, hey, I wouldn't mind being in the game. I'll even do lines for you for free. I will be a part of this game. So Nicolas Cage became a part of the game. Kind of cool. Nicolas Cage is really cool. I love some of the lines that Nicolas Cage does. And then there's the Xenomorph. Again, it's not terrible, but again, we're starting to lose the direction that the game was supposed to be going in, the story was supposed to be going in, because it's a xenomorph. You literally brought in a species that is known for wiping out entire planets. This is one of the most ultimate survival creatures there is. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. The Xenomorph doesn't feel right. As much as I love Xenomorphs, I think that are a really cool monster, but they don't feel right. Don't feel right to be in Dead by Daylight. Then you have Chucky, which not bad. Chucky's not a bad idea. They were asking for Chucky for a very long time to put Chucky the doll in there. But I think the reason why was because of his size. They weren't sure how to go about putting a character that small into the game. So they did a good job with the Chuck. Again, the Chuck can fit into this world, but we're still on this unstable land. The Unknown is a very interesting creature that actually got me back into the game for a little while, because the Unknown is a very mysterious entity that has a lot of history, but also no real defining things about it. It's almost like a creature that the more you give it thought, the more that you think about it as what it is, like what it is as a creature, the more it becomes what you think it is until it comes to life and kills you. It's a very interesting concept, because some stories say that it is an entity born from the 1950s experimentation that we hear about from like the Doctor and stuff like that. Some people say it's an entity older than that. Some people said that it was just a psycho killer with an axe. Like, there's different stories, and this one investigator was trying to figure out what the unknown creature was in the town. And the more she dug, the more people told her not to do any digging whatsoever. And the more she thought about the thing, the weirder things got, until it came to a head when something tried to knock down her door of her hotel, to which she ran screaming deeper into the place. But then she heard a very weird noise come from outside the door of her, I think her bathroom. Like, two entities were like clashing, and when she opened the door, there was nothing there. And that was because the popular theory is the unknown, who was finally given a physical body due to this investigator, ended up making it real, and the entity showed up and stole it while it was still a physical manifestation. The entity pulled it into its own realm while it had a form. And that's why it has the form that it does, why it wanders around with that weird smile, why it has its abilities named after like weird chemicals from the 1950s, but also being a hatchet wielding madman, but also can literally suck you into its like flesh through tongues in its back. Like, it is a weird creature. It's like a weird amalgamation of a ton of different killers and monsters. And that's the reason why it doesn't like being in the entity's realm, because it is stuck in that form. It can't change its form anymore. Which, again, is very goddamn interesting. Then they added Laura Croft, and then they added the Lich, which is literally the dude from it. It's the, what was it? Where was it? It was the guy. What do they call it? They added. What was it? Oh God! It was the Lich from Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, they took from Dungeons and Dragons. They were like, oh yes, Vecna. That's it. They brought in Vecna. That's when I was like, okay, I'm done. Because the fuck? Now you're pulling, like, a lot of these I can, like, wave. Like, you already were on shaky ground with some of this stuff for the lore, but you literally brought in a fantasy series. Then they also brought in, for skins, maybe around the same time, they brought in, like, Attack on Titan skins. And I'm like, fucking anime? No! Fucking anime! And then they brought in Dracula, which, okay, cool. Dracula was cool. No questions there. Dracula's kind of cool, but at the same time, Dracula ruins the storyline. You literally pulled in an entity that would be on the same level as the entity itself. Like, Unless he's there for his own reasons, I don't think so. There ain't no way he would have been pulled into the entity's realm kicking and screaming. Nah. So with that, I have to say, at this point, this game is off the rails. The Houndmaster is a cool idea because it's also another original IP. The Houndmaster is literally it was a sea captain of the Caribbean, and she really loved dogs, and she would breed like dogs. I think she was into that sort of thing. She was working for, I think, a sea captain at one point in time, and then ended up killing him and becoming her own captain of her own ship, which a lot of people didn't like because women back then were thought of as bad luck on ships. Nothing against women, just saying that was a thing back then. But so they tried to hunt her down and kill her multiple times. Eventually, they almost did. And again, here we go with that same storyline of she ended up one of her hounds ended up becoming like crazy and ended up running into the mists, which ended up becoming the entity's realm, and she ran into that. The ghoul from Tokyo Ghoul. No. This is where I drew the line of I'm done with this fucking series. I don't know nothing about Tokyo Ghoul, but I can tell you just from watching the bits and pieces of the anime, the ghoul does not fit into the Dead by Daylight universe, not even a little bit. Then we have the animatronic, which is literally Springtrap, which, don't get me wrong, this is a killer that does kind of fit into the universe. But let me tell you something. These guys, Dead by Daylight, the Behavior crew, swore up and down for years. We're talking years. We're talking like, when did that game come out? When was this? I think since like 2018. This came out in 2025, this one. Game 2015. I think as early as 2018 or 2019, when they started bringing in killers from others, as soon after like Saw and stuff, when people started realizing, oh hey, killers from other franchises can come into the game. Like, The Shape was one thing, like that's cool, but then they brought in the Bubba and Freddy and the Pig, and people were like, shit, that's awesome. Hey, can we get like Xenomorph, Chucky? Can we also get, Michael Afton, aka Springtrap? And they were like, those are cool ideas, except for Springtrap, you can go fuck yourselves. We don't want Springtrap in DBD. We'll never bring Springtrap to DBD. For years this went on. Year after year after year after year. 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. They said no, 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 no. And then I think 2024, they stopped answering that with no. Yeah, it was pretty much after the Xenomorph and the Chucky ended up being thrown into the game. They stopped saying no. And the reason is because the game was dying at this point. 2024 and 2025, this game, actually, in fact, by 2022, by the time the Skull Merchant and the Singularity were coming out, this game was starting to lag. It was not in like physically lag, but as a game, it was starting to lag. People were leaving. People still stuck around because they wanted to play like Nicolas Cage and stuff like that. But people were leaving, and leaving because the behavior wouldn't fix a lot of the issues that, like me, I left. I spent 2 years playing this game, and I played this game from the Trickster all the way to the Skull Merchant. So about 2 years I played this game for nonstop. Because I loved this game that much. But I realized in that 2 years that this game was not going to get fixed. And I gave up on it. So, a lot of people saw the writing on the wall too. They realized, oh hey, these guys aren't going to actually fix their game. This is an unhealthy culture, and they don't care about the culture. People are toxic, so toxic on this game, so privileged on this game, and they just didn't care. They just wanted to keep the money rolling. So this is Dead by Daylight. So by that time, by 2023, when they realized that people weren't coming into the game, if you noticed that there was only 2 releases other than Nicolas Cage, there was only 2 big updates. If you look, there's like 3 big updates. 3 big updates. Like you had the Unreal and Mastermind, which is when this game peaked, was during the Unreal and Mastermind situation, which with Albert Wesker. That's when this game peaked. So they were like, yeah, this is great. This is awesome. So they didn't do anything for 2023, but during that time, other than released Skull Merchant and Singularity. But by that time, the game had already gotten hit really hard. And it was already on the slow decline at that point. Because it hit the peak. This was where it was peak. And when the Night came out, it started declining. And then the Merchant came out several months later, and it was declining massively. The Skull Merchant really chased a bunch of people away. The Singularity, not so much. So during that entire year, they didn't have much of anything, and it slowly dwindled the game. Like oh wait, sorry, my bad. I got the years wrong, but whatever. They noticed that the game was dwindling. So they brought in the Xenomorph and the good guy, aka Chucky, because they knew things were on the decline. Then 2024 rolls in. Like, I remember watching people play this game in 2024, and people were talking about how the Xenomorph and Chucky were 2 of the most wanted people, like killers, that this game ever asked for. And yet, nobody started playing the game more. Because every time usually a good killer, a popular killer, was dropped, the game would get a spike. A spike of players. Until it eventually decline, and then you'd get another killer, and then a spike, and then a decline again. You know how it goes. But people noticed that the Xenomorph and Chucky didn't bring in the numbers it was supposed to. And so did Behavior. Behavior noticed that things were not doing so hot. So they had the Unknown, which, not bad. That's not a bad idea. The Unknown was really cool. It was a really cool thing, but it still didn't bring in the numbers they were looking for. So in that time period, they also knew exactly who else they wanted. So they brought in Vecna to try and bring in the final or Dungeons and Dragons scene. Did not work all that well. So they were like, fuck it, we're bringing in Castlevania. They realized things were on the decline by August the year before, so they were already working on big names like Tokyo Ghoul and Castlevania and Dungeons and Dragons to try and pull from different fandoms. But again, this did not work. It was probably back here in 2024 once they realized shit's fucked. And realized they had to do the thing that they promised not to do because their game was dying. And they brought in Five Nights at Freddy's. They finally brought in the animatronic, aka Michael Afton, because they knew at this point it was over. Like, they had nothing left. And that's also why they brought in The Walking Dead, because they're just trying to keep a game that's pretty much dead on life support. And like I said, they brought in Jason this year. That should have been huge news. That should have been massive news. I barely heard anything about it. The reason that is because Jason, the people who own Jason are assholes. They really, really did not like the idea of putting Jason into Dead by Daylight. So they adamantly tried to make their own Dead by Daylight game with the Jason game. And they spent a long time trying to fight Dead by Daylight and lost. The game could not continue. So bringing Jason in, who is a killer that they've been, people were thinking about wanting into this game for years, since like 2017, much like, the Xenomorph and the Chucky. It didn't do much. The first is literally the Vecna. It's the other Vecna from Stranger Things. Again, I really wouldn't say that did any much of anything. And again, this is the decline that the game is in. That they're willing to pull very dumb ideas from places because they're out of ideas. And the story is fucking gone. Everything that was cool about the story is dead. Now we have whatever the hell this is. This is the whole thing. This whole reason that I went on a literal hour-long tirade on explaining the story and the history and everything about this game, when I literally devoted 2 years of my life to this game. I have literally 623 hours in this game. I put so much time into this game. And it drives me insane that these guys only should think of one thing and one thing only, and that was money. They didn't care about the story. Then you can or fair gameplay. They throw caution to the wind and just keep trying desperately to get as many fandoms and as many names in the door as possible, because they want that Fortnite money, baby. Fortnite money, baby. So they wanted to add a biblically accurate angel to the game. And I don't even know what this is. Okay, it's fucking the Terrifier. The clown demon. Again, I don't know. Maybe if he's there, he's literally a demon, so the entity would not be able to hold him very well. So I would say he's there of his own volition. But at this point, I just don't care. This game sucks. And it has sucked for a long time. Oh, so they're trying to bring one of their characters from their flop of a game, casting of the Frank Stone, into their game. By the way, this game was awful. I never watched it or played it. I've just heard people talk about it. It is just downright awful. It really shows that Behavior doesn't have any creative legs to stand on. They just accidentally fell into a very good game, literally by accident, and this game proves it, because it is 63%. It's just like meh. I will die on the hill that Behavior is not a good company, and never has been. I've heard the history of Behavior. Behavior was just one of those companies that made schlock games. And they were the games that you put on mobile and stuff like that, and they're shovelware games just to make a quick buck. That was Behavior. Behavior was made a bunch of quick buck games that almost failed. They made one okay game from what I remember, which was the Naughty Bear game, and everything else was garbage. And they fell into Dead by Daylight, which gained a lot of attention and ended up becoming the pillar stone for this type of game series. And so a company that didn't really care about what games it put out there, so long as it got money for what it did, is a very bad indication of how it was going to run a game like Dead by Daylight. And it shows. It really shows. Okay, that was the end of my fucking TED Talk on Dead by Daylight. Ugh. Sorry, Chad. That was... that was me going on the biggest tirade. But obviously I have a reason for it, and that's because I have literally 630 some odd hours in the game. I've put so much time and effort into this game, and it makes me angry. It makes me genuinely angry to know that these people have gold and they treat it like a fucking cash grab. I want to play this game. Have I seen this game before? I feel like I've seen this game before from somewhere. Oh, you can be you can be a hunky lizard.
Your story starts with a dream.
Or fucking cracked out cat. Oh my god.
Khajiit does not know what you mean that he is on skooma. Skooma is not for Khajiit.
A lantern. A saint. A tower.
I have a tower for you.
And when you wake, a boat carrying toward an island you've never seen.
This seems like it's trying to be Morrowind.
Arrived the same way, same boat, same dream.
Oh my god. Is this a furry made game? Look at him. Holy crap. He's built. Chad, he's built like a furry art.
And every one of them will tell you it means something different. Deep inside the tower is an amphitheater. Feel it see through your actions and
I love Witcher hats. I really love this big conical cone-like hat with the wide brim.
The grand finale. Oh, and every NPC can be killed, but the dead here.
Yeah, that's been a feature of like games for years, my friend.
Don't go quietly. Kill someone and you'll fight their ghost too. Go back for the body later.
Ghosts?
Stay down. More than 50 quests at launch.
Crab. Oh my god. Crab people. Crab people. Talk like people. Taste like crab. Crab people.
50 quests at launch. Some very dark, some not. All of them hiding secrets or one-of-a-kind items. Underneath it all, spellcrafting and alchemy. Use these.
Here we go again with this over-explaining your game. Stop it. Stop it. Show, don't tell. Stop force-feeding us ChatGPT-made fucking essays.
Tools to vanquish your foes. Every skill you use makes it stronger. And one more thing.
This is better. At least it's...
From day one.
At least it's better than Agefield High.
Experience the game in single player, or bring your friends. The Lantern of the Lathless Saint hits early access August 17th with everything you just saw in the game. Will you be able to stay?
It's very positive. Released almost 10 days ago. It's at 87%. It's not bad. I thought it'd be a lot worse, but I'm guessing... Oh my god. Bro, didn't think this was Majora's Mask. Ay caramba. That's actually quite intimidating. I like that though. That is the whole meme of the moon being evil is just like done to death. But I gotta give it up to them. This looks good. That is genuinely unsettling. If the moon looking at you is just like, Interesting. The Lantern of Laughless Saint. Not bad. It's definitely going for an aesthetic similar to Agefield High, but at least it hits it better. At least there looks like there's some actual effort done. Fun Guy Swarm. This is like one of those types of games, a clicker type game. Blood Dungeon. Money for Girls. Horror and dating sim and romance. We romancing monsters again? This looks like Terraria. Oh, this is just Terraria again. Iron Blight. Ooh. Odd. Lock the door behind me. I know, just hurry back. Right? Punch the radio. So we're gonna go with that PlayStation 1, maybe like N64 type graphics, zombie survival game. I like the way the melees swing. Ooh. Also like the zombies head popping. Whoop, pop goes your head. It's a good indication of knowing when something is alive no longer, or undead, should I say. Pop. That don't look like a bad game. This is another zombie survival one, though. Yeah. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look amazing either. Like, I mean, it looks like it would play fun, but I have seen this song and dance about zombie survival like since 2020 or 12. So it's kind of done to death. Feed the AI, I think, is one of those point and click games. Bar after bar, driving, physics, co-op online. Is this like is this a bar hopping game?
You play as the bartender.
Oh god, this song. It's this song.
Mixing drinks for your friends. Each drink has a different drunk effect. Some of them are deadly. After you mix the drink, just throw it at a friend, and then the game transforms from a bartending game to a drunk driver game.
I'm gonna be. This is one of those.
It's a challenge on its own.
This is one of those games where if you get motion sick, you do not want to play this.
The climb to the top is a challenge on its own, but throw in a drunk effect, and it becomes almost.
Oh Jesus! There's so many of them.
There also might be some boss fights that you will need to complete to make it to the top. If you and your friends would enjoy my game, drop a wish list.
I mean, it don't look bad. It's an interesting idea, but it's definitely co-op slop. It's definitely different from all the other co-op slops. Did I just accidentally open? No, I didn't. Heart. I like this little design. I'm not gonna lie. I like this, like, radioactive heart. I like the designing of that little logo. It's cute. We're in debt. Really bad debt. The mystery of how I could get $1,000. 1,000 if I'm going you can't shake this bad feeling. Because maybe they want to rip you apart. Oh, that music's loud. They mean in a metaphysical sense, huh? OCD. You're so clean it hurts, and even have special clean ways to move and know all the secret places in the world to touch to become clean for another 1.2 seconds. Whoa, Ribs! Hello, Ribby. Ribby friend. Hello. Welcome in. And I give you a shout out, friend. I'm gonna give you a shout out whether you say yes or no. It's too late. You're getting shouted out. Too late. Hopefully it plays. Hopefully. Yeah, there it goes. So many cars.
Oh my god, new albums been unlocked.
It's a Chibi Miku. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is happening? Sonic the Warjig.
Oh my god, does it stop?
No, it doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. It never stops. Thank you for the follows, by the way, everybody who just followed. I'm sorry, I would have said something, but man, that was a good one. That was a good. You unlocked Sonic. You unlocked Dragon. You have unlocked Miku. You have unlocked crippling debt. Does it stop? No. For the next hour, you're just unlocking new section after new section. Thank you for the patties. No, yes. You will forever get content. Nothing else but content. Thank you, Emerald Muse. Thank you for the follow. Welcome on in. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the facility with me, MalO, where I take over your computer and give you boops. Do you want boops? I know you want boops. I can tell. But thank you, everybody, for coming in. Thank you, Ribs. If you have to go and, do your after stream care, I totally understand. I get that because whenever I'm done with a stream, I get pretty exhausted myself. Got a smeary MalO this time. Yeah, I smear MalO. Anyways, thank you guys. We are just chatting. We've been doing a lot of reviews today. We have been watching things like the trailer to Agefield High, Rock the School, which is a terrible bully knockoff game. It looks terrible, it's awful, and I hate it. We've been looking at terrible games that have been coming out, as well as we watched the trailer to Lesbian Space Princess. And if I would have to be a guessing person, don't watch that movie. It's going to be terrible. It's also going to be terrible on purpose to make you think that it's bad. You called upon the shy guy. You called upon the shy guy with those 500 biddies, Ghostly Wolf Pup. Thank you so much for the 500 biddies, and thank you for thank you for bringing him up. I love that. I love that redeem so much. It's one of my personal favorites. Thank you so much for the 500 biddies. I appreciate it so much because I could use any penny I can get right now. A little bit in debt. Just a little bit in debt. MalO's in a little bit of debt. So MalO has to really start doing a subscribe marathon here in the next couple days, probably in a month or two. Probably during October, I'm going to do a big fundraiser. And certain criteria where if we like raise $50, I have to play certain horrible games like Friday FNAF Security Breach Chaos Mod. I really don't want to play that again. I did that years ago. I really don't want to, but I will do it so to entertain you all. Snaps the neck. Also, is that the guy who comes to snap next? No. That's the guy who, if you see his face, he starts screaming, and he cannot be stopped by gunfire, and he will eat you. He will literally rip you apart and eat you piece by piece. That's 096, the shy guy. The guy who teleports when you're not looking at him, that's 173, the statue. Friday the 13th. You mean the game that is defunct? I wish I had played Friday the 13th. I know, you can't play it on Steam no more. You have to play it through other means nowadays. Can he be stopped by gunfire if he stops screaming? No. Like, he's pretty much nigh invincible. There's only other anomalies are about the only things that can stop him. Because gunfire will not work if you shoot him while he's not crying, or when he's crying and not screaming, it does nothing. You're just basically shooting bullets at a bullet sponge. All the other stuff, not so much. It's one of those games that's one of those dead games that you kind of have to hack it to basically get to it. MalO cowboy hat? I've been wanting to put on a cowboy hat for a long time. Friday the FNAF teeth. I meant I made an error in the words. But I'm also planning on playing hated games, like make me suffer type of games. I got a lot of make me suffer games. Or doing suffering challenges to raise money. I am preparing myself mentally for that. But yeah. So again, thank you so much. By the way, since you're all new here, why don't I show you some of the other redeems you can get? Why not? You deserve it. Let me see. Yeah,
Up right there, criminal scum. Nobody breaks the law.
That's not one of my redeems.
I'm confiscating
it's kind of.
stolen goods. Now pay your fine, or it's off to
Off to
jail.
jail. Then pay with your blood.
Pay with your blood.
Which is what
He's a little
sad right now.
Sympathetic is more like it.
Love me some boneheads. MalO, may I ask something about 096? Would firing a netted net over his head work to calm him? If he has a bag? Maybe if it completely blinds him from anything else, it could. But if he was in rage mode, no net's going to calm him down. The only way to calm him down is literally letting the person that saw his face be murdered. I could take a guard. Yeah, those guards are pretty weak once you get to mid-level in that game.
Okay, consider this. Fuck you.
There's some, and those were some of the blessed boys that are in that redeem. Yes, the goo lad, SCP-999. One of the best lads in the industry. Everybody loves 999 almost as much as they love me. Here's a MalO redeem. MalO wants attention. Moustache. The MalO gets a moustache now. You're blessing everybody with my moustache powers. I'm not MalO. I'm Maglino. I am Maglino, Spaniard extraordinaire. Hey, I'm back. I can't remember all the numbers. I know one of my favorites is the deer and the void screamers. The deer, do you mean the not deer? Or do you mean the deer girl? Or there's a few deer SCP. Oh no. Ah. Why blinded? Oh yeah, Mercury. The literal god, Mercury. Yeah, I know what you're talking about now. Also, yeah, we love the glitch redeem. It's the very powerful redeem. Let's see. What are the redeems I got? I can show you. Hold on. Yeah, Mercury's a good one. That one's kind of like linked to the old gods of Greece, if I remember right. And you had to go throw the Muppet eyes on me, and have to make me play a Muppet character now. Hey, Debort. These these hurt, right? They hurt over me eyes because they actually are like physically over my eyes. This is like very uncomfortable for me. I'm actually quite blind. Can't see a thing. Oh yeah, I was going to open the next thing. This one is one of my favorites. Again, MalO just wants attention. MalO wants attention. Ow. I've been piped. Why would you do this? Also, yeah, the Scarlet King is a big one from that series. Super big. He's one of the more famous ones.
Holy fuck! I'm about to fucking yipey.
Holy fuck! I'm about to fucking yipey. I don't know what noise that MalO made, but it's interesting.
I ain't touching that. You son of a bitch! I'll end you!
By the way, I did all the audio for that. I did all the sound effects. That was me. I remember listening to a lot of SCP entries from, I think, the Explorer series. I know who that is. I know that series. It's not a bad series. I think they do a lot of clickbaity stuff, but I know that series. They don't. Some of the stuff I'm not a big fan of because they do tend to go off topic from sometimes with the ones that they read. They're just like they kind of make it. They try to stretch things out, especially with the ones that are fairly short. And I'm not. I get it. You're trying to meet a criteria of time, but at the same time, some of the stuff that they say for the SCPs, it's like, no, that never happened in that SCP. What are you doing? So it's a give and take. So sometimes they do a good job, and sometimes they do a bad job. But that I used to watch Dr. Bob because Dr. Bob, he always told a story that would involve the SCP in question. Instead of going off topic, he would usually explain the horrors by telling a story about what happens to the people that find that SCP out in the wild, which I thought was a better idea. Also have this.
Pissing all by yourself, handsome?
Pissing all by yourself, handsome? Then the MalO's there to help. Hey, MalO's there. Oh my god, Norfolk Wizard game. You should get into that. You should get into that. That's Alpha Busa, the creators of the Hunter the Parenting, as well as the creators of the Emperor's TTS from the Warhammer series. Throwing some chicken in there. The goblin doesn't know. Yeah. The Norfolk Wizard game is basically a World of Darkness game between 4 different streamers / care people, as well as the voice of voice of D. His name is Voice of D, right? Yeah, Voice of D. In fact, I have rated and talked to one of the people who are in that game, Hulky Crow. In fact, he's streaming right now. There he is. Hulky Crow. He's one of the voices as well as one of the characters in the game. He does a fantastic job playing a crazy like conspiracy nut who the like tinfoil hat type nut, the Illuminati type nut. He does a great character of him, and I really appreciate Hulky Crow's work. I mean, the man, I think he does all his artwork too. You can find that he changes his avatar regularly for whatever game he's playing, and I'm pretty sure does all his artwork for himself, which is cool. I like that. I like that a lot. He does a good job. And here I am, basically praising another. Oh, he got rated too. I'm praising another YouTuber or VTuber or whatever. At the same time, it's like, oh, MalO, you're going to drive all your friends away. It's okay. It's okay. You want to go see Hulky Crow and play the Peak? I'm fine with that. But yeah, go check it out. It is a fun series to just listen to. Like, if you are like working on something, you go and let's say work on a chore, or you're doing something for your stream, listening to the Norfolk Wizard game on the side is really good. You can listen to that. They play it as more of a podcast, but they have some animation, some artwork that goes along with it, so you have something to see, to watch, and to look at every once in a while and glance at. So it's really cool. It's great to watch. I think you'd have a lot of fun with that. If you like Alpha Busa stuff, you will like the Norfolk Wizard game. The music is great. The intro music is amazing. It's so good. They all custom made the music. It's all meant for the series. Hold on. I got another redeem.
I got this new anime plot. Basically, there's this high school girl, except she's got huge boobs. I mean, some serious hunkers. A real setup of donkers. Packing some Doban hunkeros. Massive da hunka bankaloos. Big ol' Tanahangara cougars. What happens next? Transfer student shows up one day with even bigger bunk hanaga hoogs. Humongous hungalamga no logangas.
That one was completely made by me, that video. That one, I did all the audio. Well, I didn't do the audio. Like, I just stole the audio. But I did all the video editing and whatnot. It's all silly. I did it for silly reasons. I thought that would be a funny time. And here's the one of my favorites.
Leave me alone!
Me, my chat. Me, I'm Akira. Leave me alone, my chat. Where's your big boobs, MalO? Where's your fat tatas? No! Leave me alone! They're in the shop. they're being worked on. Sorry, just thinking about somebody bringing in their breasts into like a mechanic's shop. I knew we were going to get along swimmingly. I'm sorry, by the way, that I haven't been into your stream. I've just been really like running myself ragged, trying to do multiple things. But I appreciate you coming in. I need to come into your streams more. Oh, I know. I love meme shit too. I love making my own memes. I love bringing back old dead memes just to torture people. Like you know, uh, eh. I can't do it. Can't do it. There's not enough light in the room. I can't do it. I was gonna dab. I just couldn't do it. Big old Tonga bongas. Tonga kugas. Humongous bonga. Oh boy. But yeah. I appreciate you bringing in your community. We were kind of winding down anyways. I was just looking at some of these new games that came out on Steam. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, we were watching we watched earlier the horrors that is the Lesbian Space Princess trailer. I don't have it anymore. I closed it actually. But it is awful. It is so bad, it's bad on purpose. It has to be. There is no other explanation. It has to be bad on purpose. So I would suggest not even watching it or even acknowledging its existence. Oh yeah, I massively clowned on it earlier, but also told everybody after this, just ignore it. Just pretend it doesn't exist because it doesn't deserve your time. Made memes out of my friends and then did edits and small videos on occasion. I'm currently planning out some fake real ads of merch with whatever for BRB screens. That sounds so cool. That is something that I had an idea for. I just didn't know which direction to go in with it. I would love that though. I can't wait to see what you come up with. That ought to be fun. You need to do kitchen gun. You need to do something with the kitchen gun. That's a no-brainer. I love you, kitchen gun. What? Dark? What's your zodiac? I'm dark Gemini, dark Libra, but dark Virgo. Choose your specialty. Archaeology, aqua animals, human resources. Isn't that biology? Is that aquatic biology basically? Circus training, artisanal coffee, pharmaceutic. What is that? Pharmacologist, extreme numismatics, astrology, knives, espionage, and metallurgy, human resources. My favorite specialty. I was gonna add like Cheddar Goblin. Cheddar Goblin? Ooh, tell me about Cheddar Goblin. Is that an old commercial? I want to see it. What am I seeing? What am I looking at? What's happening? Cancer prize. That's me. Oh, great. Cancer. My favorite prize. Circus training. Dark Libra. Aspects. Boyborn. Gamer. Slob. Boyborn? Astrology knives is right up my alley. Alley. I too love looking at the stars while stabbing people. My favorite. Cheddar Goblin. Oh no. What is this? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. What is this madness? Is there, hold on. Can I find a better version of this? This is like awful. Is this a non like, oh, it's on Instagram. Get out of here. Instagram is ass. Never look up Instagram stuff. Is this YouTube? This is Reddit. There we go.
All the macaroni and cheese!
Stop. Full screen.
Cheddar Goblin! Cheddar Goblin, did you eat all the macaroni and cheese?
Nothing's better than cheddar.
Cheddar Goblin.
I think I saw pictures of it. What it? I think I know what it's gonna do.
Cheddar Goblin! Cheddar Goblin!
And those kids had to go to therapy for years after that. Those kids needed psychological help.
Cheddar Goblin by Devane has 60% more cheese than the next leading brand. Kids and goblins agree. Cheddar Goblin tastes the best. That's why Cheddar Goblin was rated #1 3 years in a row.
Slowly rising Cheddar Goblin from the mecha cheese.
Cheddar Goblin by Devane. It's goblin good.
I'm pretty sure at this point that the Cheddar Goblin is actually a cognito hazard, and those kids are actually screaming in joy on the outside, but on the inside they're actually screaming in terror, but they can't do anything because they're trapped inside the cognito hazard and can't stop screaming in joy. And then they will forget everything happened after the Cheddar Goblin leaves, because that's how the cognito hazard works. It's goblin good. Get it out of here. I saw it once. I don't need to see it again. I love the Cheddar Goblin. I can't wait until Cheddar Goblin vomits all over my lap. Just feeds off their psyche. Exactly. It feeds off the terror. It's like the sloth, the slow-moving sloth. Ultimate hygiene disaster. What am I... Back to the whatever the hell's happening here. Bat guano? What am I watching? Her burger order awaits. Ants. Ants. Stimulation overload, my favorite. Okay, got ribs. Thank you for bringing in the community. You have a nice night. Stay safe and don't overwork yourself, okay? Yay! Thank you again, and thank you for giving me the grace and the knowledge of Cheddar Goblin. Money for girls. Such an interesting game. But also the trailer is way overstimulating. There's so much writing. This might be one of those games where they put so much writing into the writing that it's just writing. Computing a traditional feminine activity, electric games are marketed towards girls. It's a simple, quite simple. Sports are masculine, physical. Electric games are ethereal, domestic, feminizing. But interest is slowly growing in all sectors. Is this a joke? This is a joke, right? This is supposed to be haha funny, right? Respectfully, lol. Hey. There you go. Give it right back. Take it easy. Hi, Alien Dot. How are you, friend? I don't know. I feel like that's supposed to be played off as a joke. Gaming taught you the gendered activity of navigating bizarre interfaces and doing it quickly. You have a lot in common with lab rats. Dust coagulates around you. Rain spatters through the leaves. You wipe a drop from your camera and hunched over, shielding it with your body. My body. This is such a wacky art style. It's crazy off the wall. A glass of milk, so white it seems like it's condensated of her skin. Waiting for the bus? I make the bus move faster. I'll make it move faster. Also, by the way, chat, I forgot to tell everybody. I have fixed a few of our emotes. As you can see, I have fixed the Wheeze emote got an update. The let's see what else got. MalO Orb got an update. We got the Sinister MalO got an update. And I think that was all of them. Yeah. Yeah, it was 3 different emojis got changed. I made them zoomed in a little bit more. Actually, I gave MalOrb a white outline so he could be seen a little bit easier, and I zoomed in on the Sinister MalO emoji and the Wheeze emoji because I thought they were really hard to see. So I wanted to make sure they were a little bit more poppy when you used them. There you go, chat. Let me see here. What else was there? There was something else I think that caught my attention. I guess not. I thought there was something else that I was like, oh, look, that game looks interesting. Never happened. Western Rye. March of the Red Queen. Bard's Fault. Bravery. Sticky Rooms. Rat Spire. Ooh. Aspiring to be a rat. I love spiraling rats. A hunter. Yeah, this is not all that much right now. Oh, right. So there is a game that really caught my attention that I really want to play, but I can't afford it right this second. And that is, I played it as a demo. It was that game. Where was it? Is it still in here somewhere?
Your dad's my best friend.
Your dad. Your dad. I don't see it. I swear it was under my demos. I can't remember what it was called. It was that new... It was that point-and-click adventure game. Yes. It was that point-and-click adventure game. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. I'm doing my best. But it is getting a little late. I was going to show it to you, but I don't know where it is. It's like endoscopy. Was it endoscopy? I think it was endoscopy. I saw it. Yeah. Endocopia. This came out. I remember I played the demo of this. I want this game. I can't really get it yet, but I really want to get it this next month because a lot of people are raving about this game. Like outright raving. We played the demo and we had a lot of fun. I would like to play it again. Just the demo, because I felt like I was missing stuff. Like there was stuff that I could have found. Now, if you haven't seen Endocopia, here, watch this. Dead. GG. Uh-oh. This is a very wacky game. Seaman. Nice reference. Drifting trains. I think this took like 3 or 4 years to develop this game. Turtle. Damn. But as you can see, this game is really cool looking. Uh-oh. Why is that playing when it wasn't even on screen? Anyways, yeah, that game looks great. It looks amazing. Anyways, though, I have been streaming a lot longer than 3 hours. I'm pretty sure I've been going for 5. Pretty much 5. 4.5, 5 hours. So I would say it is time we decided to raid out. And since we were talking to Hulky Crow, well, not talking, I was showing you off. We will go raid Hulky Crow. Now, let me make a funny little message for everybody. Here we go. Hold on. I got let me see. Okay, so if you're not subscribed, you can grab a different emote, but here we go. There you go, chat. We're gonna use that as our raid message for Hulky Crow. And we are going to go say hi to him and his friends who are playing Peak right now. All right, everybody. Be on your best behavior for our red long-nosed friend, because his nose might even be longer than mine. Maybe. But he's also a really good being. He is very inviting. He's very sweet. And he loves talking to his chat and does a really good job. So hopefully you guys have a lot of fun over there. And remember, be on your best behavior, chat. No gooning. No gooning. No titty gooning. He doesn't have tits. Okay. And then you see, that's not your best behavior. That's mean behavior. Oh, I meant to do this. I'm sorry. That's my fault. That's my fault. I hit the wrong button. Oh, is he ending? Hold on.
I was gonna raid into Faust because I haven't got.
Oh no, he's raiding out. Oh shoot. Well, we're gonna raid Faust. We're gonna raid Faust. That was good timing. That was really good timing. Good timing on me. Okay. Hold on, chat. Okay, there you go, chat. There you go. We changed the raid message. There you go. There. We changed it real quick. We are very fast. We're very quick. We are very smart. We're very good. So everybody go say hi to Faust instead. Our friendly neighborhood mask friend. He is streaming, just chatting right now. He might be talking to the entire chat right now. Let's go say hi to him because Hulky Crow's go off to raid him anyway. So that's funny. We're gonna give him a double raid, a secret double raid that nobody saw coming. I love being funny. I love being funny. Is this being funny? Am I funny? Chat, am I funny? Please respond, chat. Am I funny? No, wait.
Today or yesterday. So the thing about Tidy Up Together is there'll be
food and
MalO!
Ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
Thank Hulky Crow for the raid. Yay! Hi there, everyone. My name is Faust. Can we get shout-outs for MalO? Honey, this one's for you.
There'll be food and
Raider? Wait!
ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
Stinky treat as
There'll
well.
be
Can we...
food and drink
Hulky!
and ghosts, and
What
perhaps
the
even a few
entire
murders.
shit?
You're all invited.
Hi! That's a lot of people. How are you all doing? My name is Faust. It's a pleasure to meet you all. Come up to the bar, get yourself a drink. We got something special for all of you raiders. VHS Shark, I already know I'm gonna like you.